Up and running now too. All right, YouTube should be live too. Morning, Rusty friend. Good to see ya. Rusty fiend. One day dyslexia cure will be found. Trust. Hope I get some good pulls. I hope I get some good pulls too. Because damn it, I need some good pulls. Morning, John Text Man. How you doing? How you doing? So, Smogate told me that they were going to refresh these coupons for people that didn't get them. I don't know if it's happened yet or if we still need more time, but if anybody's still having coupon issues, let me know. Hey, Nelson and Lariseth, how you doing? Okay, so that chat seems to work. Okay, what were we doing today? We had some stuff to do today. Let's just jump into Guild Wars. Let's get that done. Is Python and NCAP from the Fribbles E7 safe to download? They potentially open up some security issues for your computer if you give programs access to them that are run by people with nefarious intents. Fribbles doesn't seem to be any of those kind of people. We've been using Fribbles with Python and NPCAP for coming up on years. And at no point in time has he tried to hijack our accounts or steal our data, so... I am no tech expert, so I can't tell you of the potential safety issues on it, but I can tell you that nobody has ever used Fribbles and had any issues from it, so... I've got it on my computer, and I run my business from my computer, so I feel it's pretty safe. You don't know my ML count, but am I going to grab the double $100 pack? These are the ML5s that I need, Slash, so let's see. You go up here, and you can hit all categories, and you can show just unacquired heroes, and I don't need any MLs. So I'm good. How are my LD pulls going? So far kind of meh. I haven't really gotten anything huge from them. Yeah, Lariseth, you should ask that question from like people who are really in the tech industry and they could give you the for real answer, but I know a lot of people that use Fribbles that this is kind of what they do for a living and they've never warned me about anything on it. I think the people that warn you against it are the same kind of people that warn you that putting emulators on your computer is a security breach. Hey Franks, how you doing, buddy? Yeah, John, that's an issue that you will have forever. No matter how good your gear gets, somebody's gonna have better freaking gear. Man, why do we keep matching these freaking top-end guilds? Rank 30 last season. Well, top team looks simple. Bottom team, maybe. Maybe I can do something with that bottom team. Okay, so we need A little bit of Sinji in our life. And K-pop fisting girl. And who else? Somebody else blue that can handle all this BS. No, 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 no. No, no, no. Somebody good. Somebody... Hey, Eminem! Thank you much for the raid, buddy. Welcome, welcome. We were just getting ready to int into Guild Wars, man. Thank you so much for the raid. I appreciate it. Man, you really want to watch an ad? I'm trying to put a Guild War together and you want to watch an ad? Fine. I'm sure this time it's going to be for a really, really good game that we're all going to enjoy playing, right? Let's check it out. Sword Chronicles. This has won 26 major awards. 25 million people, can't be wrong. Only 3% of the people of those 25 million didn't like this? Dude, it's been recommended 4,000 times per day. Guys with little, like, goatee-style beards say it's amazing. How can you not want to play this global hit? We should just ditch Epic 7 now and play this game, right? Do we do it? You know, I would do it, but I'm worried it's so good that I would just lose track of my real life. And I gotta make the right decision and not play this game. Whew, that was close, guys. That was real close. Saved myself. Didn't that game get shut down and they had to change the name? But how? It had only a 97% positive rating. It is not going to work up here. I need a real ice unit. Somebody that can handle bullshit from Landy. You know, are we rat gaming, guys? I think we're rat gaming. Or are we going to use a full-ass adult? Yeah, I think we're using Lethe. Okay, so top team's solid. Bottom team, we just need to deal with this into this, so let's take ML Desert Jewel Basar, who is basically just regular Basar, but he put on new clothes. No kidding. Lore-wise, that's his entire thing. And then we need what? How about Breaks Guild Wars? And you know what? Ida can work down here. We need to get a book on you. He put clothes. What do I mean, Sakaru? Most people when they get an ML version, they it's like an alternate reality version of themselves, right? But Desert Jewel Basar literally said, "Hey, let me dress up in merchant outfits, and I'll be able to sneak into this store." And that's how he became Desert Jewel Basar. It's literally just Desert Jewel Basar wearing different clothes. That's his entire ML story. It's one of the most ridiculous ML origin stories ever. I wish I was kidding. Alrighty, let's run these guys over. Today was a good day. You got Infinite Horizon Acades and Horchata. Congrats, Rastafarius. Who has the best? I'd really have to think about that. Ravi and Fire Ravi probably have like the most diametrically opposed, right? I mean, Fire Ravi has one of the most tragic freaking stories in Epic 7, right? You think Red hates Ravi? The developers at Smilegate, the story writers hate Ravi even more. The shit Tenebria did to that poor girl before killing her? Brutal. subjugated, enslaved, abused, and then given the most, like, irrelevant death possible. And then we get Apocalypse Ravi, who's like a war goddess. So they kind of had to throw her a bone after they realized how harsh they were being to regular Ravi, I guess. When do we get Fire Rand? Fire Rand's called Haste, remember? Ow. Do you salvo? Of course you do. Earth Rand? You really desperate for more Rands? Yeah, for those of you who don't know Fire Ravi's story, I'll sum it up for you, right? Tenebria is bored, and when Tenebria gets bored, somebody's life gets ruined because she's just a horrible person. I don't care how waifu you think she is like the most evil thing to ever walk Orbis, right? She gets bored, so she goes to Ravi's house. Ravi's just a child, and she invades Ravi's dreams and makes Ravi think she's being attacked by monsters. So Ravi wakes up, thinks her parents are monsters, and kills her entire family. Then Tenebria thinks it would be funny to break the spell on Ravi so Ravi can see what she did. Ravi sees she kills her entire family and basically has a mental break and comes unglued, which disappointed Tenebria because Tenebria didn't like her toy being broken, so she scoops up Ravi, takes her over to the homunculus program, stuffs her into a vat, wipes her memory, turns her into a homunculus, and brainwashes and reprograms her into being desperately in love with Ravi and wanting to do anything, or sorry, being desperately in love with Tenebria and wanting to do anything that the love of her life Tenebria tells her to do, and turns Ravi into basically her slave. And then anything Tenebria says to do, Ravi does it. Tenebria says frog, Ravi starts hopping. And then we get to a point in chapter 1, you'll probably see it as you go through the story, where Tenebria is engaged with the enemy, and Tenebria decides it's no longer fun anymore to fight, so she can just leave. But then Tenebria has an idea that even more fun than just leaving is she's going to have Ravi cover her escape. And she tells Ravi, is like, hey, I need to escape, so I need you to stay here and sacrifice yourself to cover my escape. And Ravi's like, oh yes, I'll do that for you, oh Master Tenebria. So she sacrifices herself while Tenebria just kind of watches Ravi get slaughtered, and then she strolls off because she really didn't need anybody to cover her escape. So she makes, because that's the height of entertainment for Tenebria, is she took this person, made her murder her family, convinced her to fall in love with her, and then made her throw her life away to do something that she didn't even need her to do. And then she wandered off to find a new toy to play with and break. The end. That's Ravi's story. And now when you look at Tenebria and call her your waifu, think about how fucked in the head that person is. MCSDM, thank you for the sub, buddy. 8 months, hell yeah, thank you so much. Oh.
Morning, Wulf.
Pop. Can we kill Fire Tenny? Wow, I went first. That's crazy. I didn't even need Basar for this. Ravi is still alive, right? No, Ravi's dead as dreams. Apocalypse Ravi's still alive. Apocalypse Ravi's a war god. Yeah, let's just push up. Where did Ravi die anyway? In chapter 1, on the towers, defending Tenebria's escape when she didn't even really need it. This game does need an actual anime. Simple Baka. You are not kidding. Quick question, can I make another survey? Do you think it would do any good if you were making another survey about the P-Flam buff? I believe Valky is making that survey. I was going to get with him and see if he wanted me to put it together for him or if he wanted to collab on it, but if not, if he's already got it up and running, then I will definitely cross-promote it. Yeah, I hate that a vocal minority has kind of gotten something pushed through that a quiet majority really didn't want. Holy sacrifice! Oh, for crying out loud. Let's pop that shield. Stay down. Hey man, Torrent and Pen set, which one is better damage in Hunt? I'd have to calculate it, but I believe even with defense break on your enemy, Pen is going to be a little bit better damage than Torrent. You can use a damage calculator. Just go to, just go over to Google, right? Just type in damage calculator epic 7. Click the first link that pops up this GitHub, and then you're going to have to follow these blue links, right? Click on this one for the new calculator, and once the new calculator, push this one to go to the new calculator, and once you get to this one, frickin' bookmark the page so you have it for later, right? And on this page, you want to put in, you know, the unit that you want to use for damage. So I'm just going to leave the defaults in right now because we're just checking, right? And here's where you can set the, sorry about that. Here's where you can set the sets. Now, one nice thing about this... Now, one nice thing about this is under target, you can select the target, and a lot of the hunts are in here, right? So if you want to say, let's make the target be Wyvern 13, and we want to say we've got a defense break on the Wyvern. So this is the damage we do with a critical hit on S1. So if we give her pen set, that goes to 7460. And if we give a torrent set, looks like pen set is still a little bit better. But you notice it's not that much difference, right? 74 versus 72. So really pay attention to the stats, right? If you can do a torrent set with 200 more attack, you're way better than a pen set with 200 less attack. So pay attention to your stats as well as the set. But this tool is really nice for answering questions like that and figuring out what's best for you. Hope that helps. I'll link this calculator in both chats. What is a crushing hit? When you don't crit, and only when you don't crit, sometimes you'll notice the white letters are small, and sometimes you'll notice the white letters are big. When the white letters are big, it's considered a crushing hit, and it does extra damage. But it only happens when you don't crit. Yeah, this is a new updated one that that includes, well, you know, includes all this stuff, right? Should new players summon on the upcoming banners? I haven't looked at Stove recently. Gayasi, sorry. What are the new and up and coming banners? What tier is Judge Kisei now? I think she is B to A tier, depending on your gear level. And every time Judge Kisei gets a buff, we get all excited about it, and then it does nothing. So we need to see how she tests out when her patch goes live in 9 days. So ask me again in 9 days. New banners are the buffed unit judge. Oh, you mean on the new Mystic banner? I don't think I would pull for any of those. I would save your Mystics for Harsetti for sure. What is the stat pro for Brig and PvE? 160 to 180 speed, no faster, no slower, just in that 160 to 180 speed range. And hang on, let's pull up my Brig. I think he only needs 35% effectiveness because of his passive. And the rest you just dump into HP because he's an HP scaler. If you want to give him some crit, that's a nice bonus. Yeah, he doesn't need any effectiveness at all, does he? Okay, he gives himself a 50% boost to effectiveness when he uses the skill that needs debuffs on it, so he only needs 15 to 25 effectiveness to do his thing. I've only got 18, so don't worry about it, right? Just where's his gear? He's missing gear. Brig, where's your gear? Pardon me a minute while I fix my Brig. No. HP main. There we go. So this is my Brig, right? 160 to 180 speed. Try to get him above, like, 25 effectiveness. That way you have enough to debuff expeditions, because you need 75 total. You get 25 plus his built-in 50, so at least 25 on the effectiveness. Little bit of crit, little bit of damage. That's nice, but not required. The HP is the big thing, right? He's an HP scaler, and you're going to frontline and take it on the chin. So this is my Brig for PvE. And when I get the Adventurous Path, he'll be triple S, and I'll get 3% more health. Yay. That might push him... I don't think it'll get him to 29, but it'll get him closer. Do I think it's possible to play Parsetti if I'm... pull Pity Harsetti if I'm 80 from Pity? 80 from Pity, you need what? You're going to need... You're going to need 4,000 Mystics. Yeah, I think if you reset the shop a lot, you might be able to pull that off without spending. You'll have to reset... You'll have to refresh the Garo's shop a lot, though. Like, getting Carpal Tunnel level a lot. Is it okay to buy ranks in Epic Dash with Skystones? It's a waste, Hassan. It's nice. That's there for people who logged in right at the end of the Epic Dash, and there's no way they'll be able to complete it before the event goes away. That's a catch-up mechanic for people at the very end. This early on, just play the game. There's no way you won't be done, you know, a week before it's over. If you just play the game. But if you're falling behind and it looks like the pass is going to end and go away before you get the final rewards, then for sure. Do I think we're ever going to get one more odd, like a Darkadon? I don't think we'll get a Darkadon. You have 10k Skystones and 120 mil. Yeah, it sucks, but you can do it. No, that's the one we just killed. How much XP, and we're... Oh, yeah, you get so much XP and we're only on day 3. Yeah, it's easy. You'll be able to clear it, buddy. No more oddens, please. Let's see. This worked pretty good. Let's do it again. And this, I have never seen something scream cleave me so much in my entire life as this bottom team. Oh my god. Let's absolutely murder this bottom team. Where'd the pink hair girl with the floaty? Too many bookmarks there. Only 88% crit chance. We'll take a little bit of a risk, though. Are there any good ML5's Next Mystic lineup for a new player? I'll take a look at the Next Mystic lineup, but I think as a new player, you save your Mystics and wait for Harsetti. Hey, Champgo, thank you for the follow, buddy. Welcome to the Wolf Pack. Do I know if we're going to get another milestone this time in the Hero Pass? I have no idea, Bama. They don't tell me things like that. Oh my god, we did it again. We went faster than a sea poly. Riorus, thank you for the follow, buddy. P-Flan situation's so sad. Smelgit can't catch a break. They really just, they can't win for losing, right? Stun everybody. Hey, Valcroft, thanks for the follow. Welcome to the Wolf Pack. S-Rift possible for newish players. I have Wukong, Vivian, Asaria, and Ray, but I don't know if my gear is good enough. And are the champs enough to do it? Excuse me. Asaria makes it Asaria makes it a little harder. If you can get into chapter 4 and pick up green Auden, once you have green Auden on your team, you'll definitely be able to do it. You'll probably want to substitute Ray for Bernard when you pull him randomly, but right now I would avoid Rift and just push into the story until you get to Continent 4, Nadalon. Once you get to Nadalon, you'll pick up green Auden. Once you got green Auden, join my Discord, DM me, and I will give you the keys to the city, and you'll be farming Rift like a chance. Or like a champ. There's my, here's my Discord. What are we doing here? What do we do? Oh, hell, she didn't get stunned. Now she's gonna do things. Awful things. Unless I stun her. Ah, it would have been so good. That's okay. Let's piss this off. Cleanse this. 3-day summons are looking amazing. Managed to get Asaria, Frida, and both are Arties. Damn. Good job, Noreen. Should I keep my Mystic MLs for Ilanov or Harsetti? Ilanov or Harsetti? Ilanov or Harsetti. That really is the question of the hour, right? Ilanov's really good. She's a known quantity. But Harsetti's a floor boss, and floor bosses have always been giga broken. I don't have a good answer for you. I really don't. I think knowing what I know about how this game works, I would recommend waiting for Harsetti, but Ilanov is a very, very good unit if you're wanting to break into PvP or have good defenses in Arena or Guild Wars. If you're going to be free to play, stick with Harsetti, I think. And don't at me if she's bad. Yeah, Bernard is really better than Ray in this, as crazy as that sounds. Oh my god, this guy is gonna get destroyed. No immunity. No defense breaks. That's okay. We don't need no stinking defense breaks. Get him, Ludwig. Blammo! Damn, she really did just survive that. Stupid haste. I can't risk him countering. God, he's gonna bring everybody back. This sucks so bad. This was such an easy win, and we get 15%ed on a defense break. Ah. Stop it. Stop it. Stop. Okay, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm out. Lame. Freaking Guild Wars. If I'm just a hero collector, which one of these two units should I use my slates on? Rimuru or Milim? Which one did you like better in the story? Literally, it's about it. Theoretically, Rimuru is slightly more usable than Milim because Milim's not usable at all. Not really. How'd my free pulls go? We're going to find out right now. First of all, we got a free 5-star, right? Show me an imprint. Who do I need? Who's a good imprint for me? You know what? Smilegate surprised me. I can never be mad about seeing Bologna. Bologna's amazing. This unit fixes so many problems early on. This was one of the first 5 stars I ever got, and I was so happy. Though the way she looks at you over her fan before she blows things up, choice. I could stare at that all day. Money, money, money. Okay, show me else something good. I said, show me else something good. Not the redhead we were looking for. Definitely not the redhead we were looking for. What's this? 6-year celebration gratitude stamp chest. Nice. Bologna, where are you? There you are. Oh, she was S rank, guys. How perfect. Little Bologna on Bologna action. Bam. Oh, she looks so good now. I know most people love Destruction set on her, and I'm not going to lie, having an extra 70% crit damage on her would be great, but the counter has bailed me out so many times, I love it too much to take off. Been enjoying your content, just wonder if you have any advice on gearing. The problem I'm having right now with E7 is I can't see what gear would work on the units I have. Love the videos. Temporarily, you can click Manage Equipment, and you can work towards your goals, right? You can come in here and click Recommended Equipment, and you can choose your sets, you can choose your main stat, you can tell it to look at gear it's on other people or not. You can say Bologna, let's see, Bologna, she's an attack scaler. I want her to be a little bit tanky. I don't worry about speed at all. I do need some crit chance. I want the crit damage, and I don't care about debuffs, and boom. And it'll put a good set on her. And you can see this one is 25% over on crit damage. So I'm wasting a lot of stats. So I'm going to go in and pull crit damage down a notch. There we go. It's a little bit better. And you see, this one is really similar to my existing one. It's a little less on the tanky side, a little bit more on the damage side, and it's using gear I said laying around. So you can use this. If you really, really want to go deep into it, you can download a program called Fribbles. I will have to dedicate an entire stream to teach you guys how to use Fribbles, but probably the best advice I can have for you is get yourself into a good training guild, right? Jump in my Discord, ask people for help gearing certain units, post screenshots of your units and ask them, hey, what do you think of this? And they'll say things like, needs more health, needs more speed, etc. Or join a training guild, and you can jump into Discord rooms and chat with other guild members, and, you know, they'll hold your hand in getting you started. Because, At all levels of play, gear changes. You would love a guide on fribbles. That's a tough-ass guide, but I do. It is on my list of things to do after I get through the hunts and Hall of Trials nonsense. You didn't know about that feature? Yeah, it's a nice feature. Some people call it the in-game fribbles or the mini fribbles. It definitely needs work. You should be able to lock heroes so you can't steal gear from those heroes when you're telling it to take gear. There's a lot they could do to improve it and make it more useful. The other thing you can do is you can look and see how other people built them. You can go into the journal. You can click the hero journal and click search and just, you know, type the name, right? Bologna, here is Lone Crescent Bologna, right? You click on her, you select her here, and click on the hero rating. And any place you see a sword and a shield, somebody has shared their Bologna. Now, mind you, a lot of these guys are going to be high end, but it should give you an idea of where they're focusing. This guy's running on a destruction set. Here's the artifact he likes. He thinks immunity is important. These are the way he molded his skills. He clearly is focusing a lot on HP and damage, and he ran her mid-speed. This is a freaking really nice Bologna. And he didn't care about effectiveness or effect resistance, and you know what? I was wrong before. She always crits. So looking at this made me realize she needs 0 crit chance, because she guaranteed a crit, so I should have ran that crit chance bar all the way down. Here's another guy that built his on counter. He went counter and is using pen set to make the counter more impactful. He's also running Sigurds. He went even tankier with even more health with less damage. He's like 3,000 instead of 4,000 attack. Another destruction set build. Here's another counter build. So you can get a pretty good idea of what some other people are running, their speed points, their damage points, if they're running them tanky or not. So this is a nice resource to kind of peep at other people's units and get an idea. Don't try to build it to other people's requirements, but it'll give you an idea of, okay, put a little bit into speed, put a whole bunch into damage, put a shit ton into tankiness. Don't care at all about crit, effectiveness, or effect resistance. That'll help you set your sliders, make it a little easier for you to build your units. Yeah, you're not kidding, Nerub. It's all the new people that are coming in, guilds are filling up fast. I did send your request up to the Asia server people to try to find you a seat, but it's slim pickings right now. Even if you can't get into a good guild, get into a guild's Discord. Join my Discord. Join Deity's Discord. Join Valky's Discord. Find a community. Chat with that community. Ask for help. Being a part of a community is a great way to get into one of the more exclusive guilds. If you're active in a guild's community, the guilds in that community will want you to be in their guild, because guilds are always looking for active, committed people. And it's just, sometimes that's the best way to do it. You get the help and advice of the community through Discord, and eventually they'll say, hey, buddy, you've been here for a while. We got room for you if you want to leave the rando guild you're in right now and come on over. That's how I populate Baka 7 and some of the high-end Baka guilds. Started playing to Epic 7 today. Welcome, welcome. RIP your free time. I got ML Kawaric. Grats on winning the game. And I got Frida and her artifact on my first 10 pulls. You should uninstall your account and leave. You're going to make the rest of us jealous because of how lucky you are. Are they good? Are they usable for PvE? Mediator Queric is very, very usable for PvE. I mean, somebody who attack buffs, immunity buffs, cleanses, strips, CR pushes, does damage, and CR manipulates your team. Yeah, it's going to be pretty good. It's going to be pretty good in just about every aspect of the game. He is one of the top tier S-tier units. So yeah, grats on your hand guy, Mediator Queric. As for Frida's a unit that you might not use for a couple of months maybe, but in a couple of months you will be so glad you have her. She opens up so much on the PvP side, Arena, Guild Wars, even RTA. In PvE, she does have some uses, but not very many. So I wouldn't focus on her too heavily. There are a lot of other units that give you a better return on investment in the early game, but once you get a few months under your belt, you're going to be really, really glad you have Frida, especially because she's limited, and now is the only time to get her. It'll probably be 7-8 months before her banner comes around again. Okay. Surely this is the time. Surely this is the time that we get an ML5 from this damn summon, right? It's going to happen this time. I can feel it. I can feel it in my bones. How do you build ML Landy? What set to go for? I'll pull up mine in a minute, but counter set. She is definitely a counter set. Best Inos in the game. Purple? Come on, turn into sparks. Turn to sparks! Ah. Isn't she Meowvelous? I was so mad when I pulled Kitty Clarissa, because back in the day I really wanted Seedom, and I got Kitty Clarissa, and I was salty about it, and she has been the best damn unit to have on my account. She is so good. I don't even touch Seedom anymore. I use Kitty all the damn time. Please, Smilegate, give this girl a specially change. She would be so good with a specially change, and God, her artwork needs updated. She is, yeah, God, she would be so good with a specially change. Okay, another purple. We're gonna go to Sparks. Soul Weaver. Horchata! Surprisingly useful unit. Okay, last one, guys, last one. What is Kitty good for? I have her, but I don't know where to use her. She does her S3, she cleanses all your debuffs. And then she dual attacks with the strongest unit on your team. That means every time, once you use her S3 and put her loveliness mode on, every time she S1 attacks, she attacks with the strongest unit in your team, which basically makes her a second strongest unit in your team, because you can always dual attack. And God forbid the enemy gets some debuffs, you can use her S2 to AoE strip debuffs off of the enemy. Fantastic unit for PvE. You will use her in lots of places. Oh well. Nothing today from that. Unfortunate. So I'm very curious. Did they fix this Banshee team? Wait, surely we have more summons, right? Oh, we got regular summons. How could I forget regular summons? What about Sage Vivian? How would you build? Oh yeah, sorry, we were talking about builds. So Landy is a very gear and stat hungry unit. You're going to see a lot of monsters built for Landy. Do not try to emulate those monsters. That way lies madness. Just focus on the necessary stats. And the necessary stats are a little bit of bulk, right? Don't have her be 800 defense by 10k health. She'll just die. Because she's going to be slow. You don't even need 150. You could run her base speed and you're fine. But try to give her enough bulk, because you want her to take hits so that she can counter and do her salvo. So mostly you're going to be focusing on a little bit of bulk, and once you've got a little bit of bulk established, you stuff everything else into attack and crit damage. And make her as strong as possible. And you've got to find your own balance between the amount of damage she does and the amount of survivability she has through bulk. I think Unity set is better than Immunity. I'm going to rebuild her with Unity set. I'll probably drop her speed away and put Unity set on her and give her a little bit more damage, make her a little more nuclear, try to get her up. Elbrus is by far and away her best artifact, but you can get away with putting a mitigation artifact on her, like Proof of Valor or Holy Sacrifice to, annoy the piss out of your opponents, help keep her alive, especially if you're running lower health and defense than you feel is survivable. What do I like better, base speed or base speed? The way I play aggressively with her, and I've been liking the speed a little bit better, but I'm going to try the base speed full attack nuclear Landy and see if it changes my win rate at all, or her usability at all. And then I'll screenshot this build and go back to it if I need to. But this unit legit has some of my best gear. How do we do the screenshot thing? Where is that button that shows all the gear? It's next to unequip all. Oh, no. Is it this? Ah, thank you, thank you. So you can see by the gear score on this equipment, this is some of my best gear. Even though it doesn't look like terribly much over here at first blush, this is my highest gear score unit. So she is a very, very difficult unit to build super, super well, but she doesn't need to be built super, super well. She just works. Just do your best and she will fly for you. There are some units that if you don't have a certain stat point, they just don't work. Landy's not one of those units. Landy's kind of like Apocalypse Robbie. The better her gear, the better she works, but she will still work on mediocre gear. Just don't expect to go and jump into Emperor RTA with her. Let me see what I miss. Which book of memories does a new player get first? I have no idea. You'll have to go over to, is it Side Story? Book of Memories? And look at your list. I would assume Eulogy for a Saint, but I don't know which one you get first. Just go take a look and see. Top one is... Is it the Tam one? Okay, well, maybe they're in order then. Hey guys, remember to do your Oasis Land Rhythm Surfer BS. I think that's going away today, isn't it? Yeah, it's going away today. Around 11 and a half hours from now, the Rhythm Surfer's gone. So if you haven't finished this yet, make sure you get it done. If you need help with that, let me know. I got a video. What about Sylvan Sage Vivian? I'm seeing a lot of... I think Sylvan Sage Vivian not on lifesteal is... shooting yourself in the foot. But lifesteal build on her is kind of tricky to do. So let's see, where's mine? I've got to rebuild mine actually, right? Because I went with a hyper aggressive build where I'm relying on Black Hand of the Goddess to get things done. So her crit chance is too low. I'm relying on the 22% from Black Hand of the Goddess to get me up into a decent crit chance range. But I think lifesteal immunities are best build, and I want to switch this over to Chatty to give her a little more survivability, which means I'm going to have to re-gear her for more crit chance. So she's going to take some gear change, right? God, she's really well geared too. Not the easiest unit to build, guys. At least I can do this. Try to get a little more crit on her. Can I show you RB build? I'm not sure if my RB's still built. I built him for RTA. This is my damage RB. And this is my degen counter RB. So you run this one if you're going to run slow, rely on counters to nuke people, and make him tanky enough that it's hard to kill him, so that he gets a lot of counter attacks off. The evasion keeps giving him attack buff. And then when he eventually is killed, he comes back to life, and he's still got enough damage to kind of nuke people. This is what people call the degen build, because when you fight people and they attack you and you just don't die to a really strong hit because you got 20k health, they say things like, what kind of degen would run this? And this is my higher speed damage support build that I, run to clean up and cleave. And he's got enough damage that when he comes back to life, he should kill just about anything, especially if he procs greater attack buff. What do you got here, Huffer? This is your old Landy. Counter immunity. Man, this Landy looks familiar. And your new Landy. Let's So you added 17 crit damage and about 300 attack. Your bulk stayed pretty much exactly the same. Yeah, you're just going to have to see, right? Is dropping 50 speed worth the 300 attack and 17 crit damage? Punch it into the damage calculator and see how much of an impact it has on your damage, and then make a decision if it's worth losing the 50 speed. I don't think this is an impactful enough change to her damage to warrant dropping that much speed. I personally think I would stick with this one, or look for things that aren't immunity set to see if you can make this build, but like 38 by 300, you know, that would be impactful enough. 38 by 300 all day long, even if you lose the immunity. Is it worth it to farm Katie's, or rather just stick to Rift for torrent gear? If you can do Rift, you farm Rift. If you're farming for gear only, you don't touch hunts, whether it's Katie's or anything else, you just do Rift. The only reason to do hunts, if you can do Rift, is if you're looking for the bookmarks or reforged mats as well. Otherwise, you just stick with the Rift. The gear output is so much better for gear. Supermodel Lulu, free from summons. Is she usable anywhere? She is usable at the end game as a CR manipulator and a little bit of use in Guild Wars earlier game. But if you're relatively new, build her and have fun with her. She's a solid DPS. You could potentially use her in some of the expeditions, but she's outshined by a lot of other units. Once you get to the point where you've got the gear to use her, you might find places for her in competitive play. But early game, she really kind of needs a buff right now to shine. She's definitely on the list of units that people want buffs for. Is Spirit Eye Celine good for beginners? She's good in Guild Wars. She can be good in some PvE with her raise mechanic. Kind of a C or B tier unit for beginners, but a unit that you'll be glad to have later on in the game. Focus on the more important units first, and then build her up passively and enjoy her later. But you get into a hard fight where your entire team gets getting killed, she can be there to bring the entire team back to life while also being a damage dealer, and that's kind of nice. All right, before somebody else asks me about one of my units, let's summon. My lobby looks like I started the game 3 days ago. That's by design, Frinks. It's because I'm making beginner guide videos for hunts right now. Even with 100% buff from hunts, yeah, with 100% buffs from hunts are really, really good. But with a 30% buff to rifts are still a little bit better. The gap has narrowed quite a bit for that time period, but I still think I would farm Rift unless you're chasing the other things that hunts give. Does Meteor Quirk need HP? Ooh! Sparklies! And can I use Warhorn on him? Yeah, I think Warhorn is his best in slot artifact, and yeah, HP, speed, a little bit of effectiveness is nice, and you can choose whether or not to put damage on him. He's a warrior, he actually does pretty good damage. I've got 2 Querics. I tried to build a support one and a damage one. I found I just didn't use the damage one enough to warrant the gear, so he's kind of sitting ungeared right now. What are we getting? Any thoughts on Strays? I pulled him from the free Moonlight summons. At the end game, he is crazy good for PvE, but that takes insane gear. You'll see lots and lots of videos out there with Strays just one-shotting everything. That's not something you'll be able to do until probably 9 to 12 months into the game. And in RTA and Guild Wars, he can be very, very good as a niche last pick, where if your opponent doesn't ban him, your opponent just loses. But honestly, you probably aren't going to use them terribly much early game, so stick them in your waiting room, build them passively, so that you can enjoy them later. I need some advice on how to cope with bad RNG. Dust off, grab a beer, rub one out, come back to the game. Welcome to Epic 7. Bad RNG is the way of things. We're all here chasing these dopamine hits, and when everyone else around you's getting those dopamine hits and you're sitting here in the gutter staring at your 3rd pity in a row, it just feels bad. Luck streaks come and go. When it's when it's on, and everyone else can be pissed at you for a change, but in the meantime, you just kind of have to accept that that's the way it is. And if it's messing with your mental and making the game not fun, not even kidding, you need to uninstall and go find something else to do with your life, because that's part of the gambling nature of gacha games, and they're not for everybody. But yeah, if you're asking me for advice on how to be luckier, every single person in Vegas would love that advice. Okay, here we go. It's a warrior. It's a rat. I got a rat. Damn it. Oh, okay. I got a rat. Freaking rat. See that number below this rat? Got 3 rats there. Okay, at least I don't have any more rats in the waiting room. Freaking rat infestation over here, man. Yeah, I gotta wait for light shoe, right? For sure. Yeah, there's a Blood Moon Haste in there. Who else is hiding out in here? Blood Moon Haste, the Last Rider Crow. Bollocks. Oh shit, I just wasted 50 bookmarks. Oops. Here's the free one. Yay, Tonfa. So ML Querca's a warrior, but acts... Yeah, he's a soul weaver in warrior's clothing. Here's mine. So, I built mine as tanky as I could. Well, not as tanky as I could. And that was for Ancient Inheritance. Ignore that artifact. Where is the Warhorn? There we go. So here he is, 26 by 15. Once upon a time, he was 30k health and 250 speed, and I used him everywhere, but Laia has taken a lot of his jobs away. I love having a little effectiveness on him. Being able to strip things from people who don't expect you to be able to strip things, like pulling that immortality off of a BBK and putting attack break on her is beautiful for people who just didn't quite put more than 200 effectiveness on their BBKs, or effect resistance. But you see, I didn't go any damage at all. His attack, his crit has nothing. I just put everything into bulk because I want him to survive to do his trick. This guy right here, I tried to build damage. I ran him slower. I gave him crit damage, a little bit of attack. He's an HP scaler, so his attack helps, but it doesn't help a lot. I gave him some tankiness through Draco Plate. I gave him Pen Set. I thought it would be a lot of fun, and I've just never used him. Can I show you some top 3 units for PvE? Number 1. Number 2. Damn it, Roana. Where's your defense armor? Arguably number 3. Some people would argue that Destina is a good number 3. And I think early game she is. I think late game Rowan is better. Some would argue that Asaria is number 3 because she activates and initiates Tamarin, who's your number 2 most important. Those are all really, really good ones. Can you one-shot with level 15? Can I one-shot what dishes? 200 EE on BBK. Yeah, I don't run effect resistance on my BBK. I am of the opinion that effect resistance is a fake stat. It's a fake stat and made up by slow players to scare cleavers, and that it doesn't really exist. What's a feature in Epic 7 that most people usually overlook, Tara? When you have farmed a whole bunch of gear, you go into your gear section, and you look at all this gear. This is rough because it's not going to show anything because I haven't farmed any gear lately, right? But you click arrange, and what most people see is this when they click arrange, right? They click arrange and they see auto select, and when you click this, it just selects everything based on the settings you've put here, right? Instead of using auto select, go to simple selection. And then you can run this slider up and down. What simple selection does is it will highlight any piece of equipment that is below 26 equipment score. I think for brand new players, 24, mid-game players, 26, and late-game players, 28. And for people who spend $100,000 a year on this game, maybe 30. But you set it for this, and then you tick this box that says, even if it's freaking 18 gear score, I don't care. If it's got a speed substat on it, don't highlight that. Once you've got that set up, then when you click arrange, click simple selection, it will highlight anything that meets that metric. Now, all of the gear currently on my account has speed subs on it or is over 28 gear score. So it didn't find anything because I already ran the search, and it's a great way for you to click one button and then sell or extract all of the crap. And then what's left are pieces of gear that you can speed check, or pieces of gear that are really high equipment score that maybe you roll because these could be some of the best pieces on your account. I think that's the most overlooked and one of the best quality of lives in this game. You were able to enter Janua's side story even after playing up to episode 3. I don't know if it's intended, but 2 weeks and he's in the... And he is story summon... In 2 weeks he is story summonable. Yeah, nice, nice. Janua is a great pickup. Even for relatively new players, his damage is insane. How the hell do I beat Mort episode 3 4-9? Ooh. I fought that 3 years ago, but let's take a look and see if we can figure it out. Is it the same? Episode 3 4-9. This one? No, this isn't it. I don't see Mort. Zio I can help you with, right? Go to YouTube and search TristenWulf Zio. Step-by-step walkthrough with low-end gear, how to beat Zio, free-to-play friendly. Now the only trick to this is the team does use auxiliary lots, and a lot of people don't have it, right? Everybody has Ross, he's free. Everybody has Sigrid, she's free. Everybody should have a Sarah, you're getting a selector, but not everybody has aux lots. So what you do is you jump in my server, and you DM, or you post the chat, I need help with episode 1010. Can somebody friend me in game and set aux lots as their main rep hero? Give it tags book and try to set it for this speed. And then somebody will be like, I got you, fam, and they'll do that. And then you go into the fight. and you just keep looking through the list until you find that lovely person who said Oxlots. And if you don't find it, you enter the fight, then you yield, and then you look for them again until you find it. And then once you find that person, you add Oxlots to your team, and then you follow this guide and you beat it with that person as your friend. I have done this dozens of times for people. If you need Oxlots service like this, you let me know. I'll set Oxlots as my lead. I'll speed tune them to whatever speed you need them to be at, and you'll be able to get through this fight, because with this team, it is pretty heckin' easy to just murder this guy. And this is all with very, very new player quality gear. None of the gear on these units is hard to get. Now, there are other ways to do it. You can follow the mechanics. You can use specific ML units. But this, I think, is the easiest way because it uses all free units and a friend. The Goblin event seems alright for PvE gearing mid-game. Don't know about late game. I think it's garbage for mid-game. I think it's great for early game. In fact, I need to do the Goblin. We'll go back to Mort here in just a second. I need to go do the Goblin. Wait, we summoned a bunch of stuff. So, about the Goblin, guys. The Goblin event is, the gear is not worth it. Once you get to the point where you can farm hunts. Once you can farm hunts, I think you never bother with the Goblin again. But being able to farm hunts, you can the guide that I just made today for Wyvern is mostly using Goblin gear, and that's why I'm actually, for crying out loud, artifacts too. That's why I'm mostly farming the Goblin right now, is to get some starter gear to make these guides. So people won't say, well, of course you're doing it, you're gear gapping us. I'm trying to use this starter gear to make these guides. So I think once you get to the point where you can auto farm the hunts, you can stop doing the Goblin and start focusing on the hunts. Why is Zeo so difficult to beat? It'd be like that. They decided to gear gate him and make it a little bit harder to get to Chapter 5. Is it worth buying the Wukong right up as a new player and using bookmarks for him? I'm going to say no. The difference between hunts and rifts is not so great. Wukong is not limited, which means you could randomly pick him up or his banner could show up at any point in time.
Path 1 completed. Path to just as intensive.
Nice. Congrats on completing the path. Also, you're spending money for a chance to spend resources for a chance to go all the way to pity and then not have enough stuff for the things that are going to be coming up. And we're rolling into third and fourth quarter, which are high times for limited units, collaborations, really cool events. I wouldn't waste money on getting Wukong just so you can farm Rift, which is only slightly better than Hunts, especially with all these buff events going on. I would just stick to Hunts. And when you pick up Wukong, eventually go for it. Now, if you don't mind swiping and you want to min-max the game, then sure. But I can't endorse buying that banner. Vivian got you through Zeo. Yes. Oh, that vid got you through. I'm glad, Pharaoh. I'm glad that worked out for you. Is the E7 WC Pack 1 and 2 worth the price for a new player? They are good packs. Are they worth the price? That's a really personal question. They will let you grab two an incredibly important unit and an incredibly important artifact and give you access to one of the top ML5s in the game. If that feels like it's worth $200 to you, go for it. I'm not buying them, but they're not worth it to me because I don't need any of those units. It just depends how much of an advantage you want to buy into. Yeah, I can't... People always... I can tell you it's a good value compared to the value of other Epic 7 packs, but I can't tell you if it's a good value for you personally. I don't know what your personal situation is. You make 200 grand a year and you live alone? Shit, yeah, buy those packs. You got a family of 5 to feed and you're scraping by a 50K a year? Hell no. Be reasonable with your money. Yeah, if it gets you your most wanted unit. Oh, man, that's really a 4. That's disappointing. Shit. Now it's just dead. Do you think the new chapter boss will be harder than Zio? I hope so. I like challenges. It'd be weird if he was weaker than Zio, since she's after Zio. I'm sorry I said it wrong. It's still just a chance to get the hero you want. There is a guarantee, right? You buy the Wukong banner, and then you buy straight down to pity. So yeah, if you're willing to put that level of resources into it, you can force your way into a Wukong, but you can beat Rift without Wukong. You can pull Wukong randomly from your daily summons. How awful would it be if you spent money on that pack, went all the way to pity to get Wukong, and then the next day you log into the game, do your 10 summon, and out pops Wukong, and that can happen. And I think if you buy that pack, it's infinitely more likely to happen. What's the definition of whale or dolphin? Varies a little bit. For me, I think a dolphin is somebody who spends anywhere from just buying the Burning Passion packs to maybe $100 a month. I think if you spend $100 a month, and every once in a while you'll whip out 200, but you kind of make up for it by not spending the next month, that's a responsible dolphin, right? Somebody who spends a little bit of money on the game, buys a little bit more than just the monthly packs to support the game. Because buying the monthly packs is really just like paying a subscription, right? You're supporting the game and getting some rewards. But people who spend money on the other packs, I'd call anybody that does that a dolphin. Now, some people will break it down and say, oh, well, like, this guy's a minnow, and this guy's a responsible dolphin, this guy's a giga dolphin. You know, categorize however you want. But I think if you spend $100 to $200 a month, you're safely in the dolphin range. Now, if you spend 4 digits a month or more, then you're a whale. I think whales reliably spend at least 4 digits a month. When somebody says they whaled for something, to me that means they spent damn close to $1,000 trying to make something happen. But some people will be like, I bought one $99 pack, I whaled for it. So, you know, the lingo gets a little bit weird. 4 digits is crazy. My brother in Christ, Brother Stone spent $250,000 on his account just to get ready for World Cup. And he is not even one of the biggest. You'd be surprised how much money people throw at this game. What's the best way to get charms? Oh, god damn it. I don't care. I don't care if it hits speed or not. I take moral offense to 1 speed, and I'm not rolling that piece. I think one of the best ways to get charms to gear up units is to farm unrecorded history, and you sell the trash gear that you get from unrecorded history. You just sell it, and you get gear powder. Like, check this out. I'm going to sell some of this trash I just rolled. You get a whole bunch of level 44 gear, I think. Stuff that's just not even worth keeping. And when you sell it, you get this gear powder. So when you farm unrecorded history, you get gold. You get stigma that you can use to buy penguins, spirit blooms, or more gold. You get AP, which you can use to buy catalysts. You get normal catalyst drops. You get normal charm drops. You get normal drops in general. You can level up your units. You can friendship battle. You can do all this kind of stuff. And you can sell the level 44 gear and get powder. And as you can see, the powder starts to stack up. And you're able to do a lot of leveling with the powder. I don't know what it is about weapons, but I always run out of weapon powder. I guess I level weapons more often than anything else. What do I sell and extract? I sell pretty much everything at this point because I'm using, I usually only go through and extract when I am using blue boxes. I've got so damn much gear right now that when I'm ready to sit down and have a session where I use these, which I'm over 50, I should sit down and use these, I just start crafting with these. And when I run out of things to craft them, right? It's like, say I decide to make, say I tried to make some speed boots. So I go over to the steeple, sanctuary. And I go to equipment conversion and I decide to make some speed boots. And I decide to use speed boots and I go, wow. Let's say instead of $2.99, add 14. I'm like, okay, I don't have enough to make it, right? I need at least 70 to make these speed boots. So I go and find my crappiest, unused, worthless pen piece and I extract it. And then I start crafting pen pieces. And when I'm out of powder, if I craft a piece and it's garbage and it rolls badly, I usually still level it up a little bit so that I can sell it for just enough. Wow, this is all over the map. So instead of just straight up extracting this, if I was running out of cubes to make new ones, I would go ahead and level this up to maybe +9 or so, and then extract it, and that would give me enough to be able to make another one. And I self-perpetuate it. So I don't extract a lot of equipment anymore, but I'm quite late game. Early game, especially if you're still farming hunts, I think you sell when you need the gold and when you need the powder, and you extract when you're out of stuff to craft with. Makes sense? It's a game of resource management. You focus on what your account needs, what your biggest return on investment is. If you are low on gold, you farm AP. If you're low on gear, you farm hunts. If you need catalyst, you go into AP. If you need cubes, you extract. If you need powder and charms, you sell. Is Sweet Miracle the only useful artifact for Laya when... no, Sweet Miracle is useful on a couple of other warriors as well. Quite toxically useful. I've got 2 of them for that reason. I'm working on leveling my second one, but it's got a ways to go yet. Yeah, it's only +18. How's my sanctuary set up? I think the best sanctuary is high command. You want 1, 1, and 1. Just 1 in each. More than 1 in any of these is a total waste. If you've got more than 1 in any of these, click reset, spend the gold, reset it, and make it 1, 1, and 1. There's 0 reason to go any higher than that over here. Heart of Orbis, I have set up at 2, 3, 3. You don't... And this is really the last one you should set up. 2 is plenty. All 3 does is let you be less active. As long as you're relatively active, 2, 3, 3 is plenty. You shouldn't have any problems with this. Forest of Souls, 3, 3, across the board. You want this to be maxed out. If you are crafting a lot from hunts, 3, 3, 3 in your steel workshop for sure. If you are doing a lot of equipment extraction and stuff up here, and I've been debating about weakening my steel workshop to enhance this, because I do a little bit more up here, but 0, 3, 3 works here. All you're doing is decreasing the cost of gold and material conservation. You don't do enough up here to have this really be worth it, so that's how mine's set up. I have seen some people go 0, 1, 1 for the high command, but it does lock out being able to do double on some of these missions, getting some of the higher value ones. That could let you put one thing into one additional thing into the steeple to lower the cost a little bit. So you could do that. But anyway, that's how mine's set up. It's worked fine for me. Can you make a counter argument for Forest of Souls being 333? Sure, go for it, Noreen. I think especially if you're going for the AP farming to get the stigma to turn to gold, that's why you want the 333 in Forest. No, Bama, no, he got his from me. Hero Pass are so grindy. I'm on 2, waiting for 25 Labyrinth queers. Welcome to Gacha Games, where they make you grind and log in every day and suck time out of your real life and keep you in the game forever. Craft 5 pieces of level 5 Banshee gear. Okay, 5... God, I hate the flashbang. Craft... Banshee gear... Show me good sword. Let's make this one, destruction. Ooh! How much you want to bet this is going to hit effectiveness a whole bunch? Come on, Excalibur. Show me something beautiful. It's okay, we forgive one. We forgive one. We forgive one. Just don't hit it again. Good. Good. Okay. Acceptable. Something big. Something huge. I take it. I take it! It's not great, but it's good. Yeah, 16 speed on a double statted one, and that's low. I'll be able to upgrade that. Oh yeah, all day long. 96 equipment score. Love it. And let's see. I can modify. This to... Shit. Tell me I have a box. I have a box, right? I don't have a box. Oh well, one of these gets used. These are the things you get from the end of Adventurer's Path, and they are so nice. Never can have enough of these things. Okay, that should go up to 11, right? Right? That's fine. That's going to be a little bit of a gear score drop, but it makes the piece substantially more usable, and God forbid, I always like checking this. If you're trying to decide, is this a good change? Look what it would go to if you changed it back. I could change it back to up to 14. So it's not a one-way door. If for some reason I decide I needed effectiveness here, I could change it back to effectiveness and get back to where I was or even better. So this is an acceptable change. Anytime you make a change and you can't get back to where you were, like if I tried to change this to crit chance, it would only show 5 to 8. So there's no way I could ever get it back. So I probably wouldn't make that change. So if you're trying to decide whether or not it's a good change or not, if you can't put it back the way it was, ask somebody in your guild that knows better before you pull the trigger and potentially brick a really nice future piece of gear. Watched a guy change freaking, like 150 flat attack, or sorry, a quad roll into HP to like 150 flat attack, and it just about broke my heart. It was such a good bruiser piece, but he was so hyper-focused on DPS units that he killed a perfectly good bruiser piece for 150 flat attack. It was like 38% health down to 150 flat attack. Go! We take it. We take it. So it'll go up to 95. So I only lost 2 equipment score, but this is a really nice piece. That'll find a home somewhere. Did I answer the question about pets? Somebody asked on YouTube. How do you get them to go from to 30 instead of 20? Oh my goodness, pets. The bane to my existence. So, for pets, you want to get them to 5-star. Once you get them to 5-star, you'll be able to do 20 or 30 runs instead of just 20. So you've got to take 2 4-star pets, fuse them together, and get them to upgrade to 5-star, and then you'll get those last few runs. Oh, you know why this pet's named Kana, right? Have I not shown you this? Here we go. You go into the journals, we look at, that's artifacts, we look at the pet journal. Find that guy here, where is he? Is it this guy? No, it's not this guy. It's one of the octos. Oh, it's the limited octo, isn't it? Dapper octo. Yeah, so tell me at max level this isn't Kana. If you know, you know. When do you usually stop? It already took so long to 5-star one. Pets are a horrible, painful process, man. You just chip away at it over time. It took well over a year to make my pets where they're at. I would like to spend $5 to get the panda. The panda's adorable. You're basically spending for a cosmetic. If you don't mind spending for cosmetics, go for it. Will Janua be available in the 5-star max selector or not? He will not. No Janua. It says what's in there, but Janua is not included. No Janua, no Wukong. There's one other. No Brigida, and none of their artifacts. Those 3 are out. The only way to get them is if you decide to drop $100 on this pack. This hero selector includes Janua. Though I'll be honest with you, I would be hard-pressed to pick up Janua when Laia and Galililius are staring me in the face. I was thinking of using the souped-up selector on Fumir and Flan since I have no Mola invested in the ones I currently use. It's a great way to save 66 Mola. Wait, Miku had a collab in Epic 7 already? Miku. I don't believe so, no. Yeah, no. Miku, Hatsune Miku. Yeah, no. Hatsune Miku is not collabed with Epic 7. Not yet, at least. No, it was just Kazuna AI. Yeah, she was a free unit. It was just her. That was years ago. A free unit I will never obtain. Yeah, sadly, the only way to get her is to have somebody give you an account. And if you give them something in return, that's none of my business. Hey, I guess that's another thing that, back on the, a lot of new players don't know about. If you click on the shop and you buy your daily stamina over here, you can click on this little arrow on the side and scroll through the list and pick up the other stamina and the Molagora on Monday, your other daily stuff. So, you know, a little quality of life. Oh, and if you're doing the lobby view, the tavern view, instead of a wallpaper, you can click on the table and it takes you to your teams. So you don't have to, it just saves an extra click. You don't have to go and click hero teams. You just click on the table and jump right into your teams. There's a lot of little hidden quality of lives out there. Sorry, Enz, let me look up and see what you ask. I'm juggling 2 chats here and it's going pretty fast. Between Earth Expo and Nightmare Raid Team, which should I prioritize?
Hey,
Nightmare Raid Team.
Of souls above.
And here's why you do Nightmare Raid Team, right? Because you can go into Earth Expo, you can click Open Recruitment, right? And you find one like this that's almost dead. Yeah, you find like one like this that's almost dead. You click it, you click Enter, you start. And you don't have to do anything. See the HP bar at the top? When it's this close to being dead, other people are going to hit it. And it's going to get cleared all by itself. See it going down? Now, I mean, don't be an a-hole. Contribute. Don't just jump in and yield. You know, try to do a little something to help it along. But I could have just yielded. These guys are going to kill it. Look, it's another big hit. I'll do my one attack here. In the time it took me to do this attack, pop more damage from other people. And they'll clear it for you. So you really don't even need to have an expo team, although it's really nice.
On TristenWulf does he become ML Kappa?
Whereas nobody will help you get your nightmare raid done. So if it's a choice between one or the other, yeah, you work on your raid team. Oh, nice to have you back, Wolf and Roses. So yeah, for that reason alone, I would focus on raid where nobody can help you out. But it costs stamina if you join other players' expos. No, is it worth the 30 stamina? You just ask me which should you focus on, and I say this one costs you 30 stamina. And this one doesn't cost you any stamina, but you can't do it if you don't have a team. This one has a stamina way to do it without a team. So if you want to be able to do both, you can do Nightmare Raid with your built team, and you can spend stamina to do this. If you really, really don't want to spend stamina, you just want to use your own flags, then yeah, build yourself a team, and don't spend the stamina, and do it on your own. And then you miss out on the Nightmare Raid, which is really, really good. What is Nightmare Raid? If you go over to your battle tab, you'll see a tab that says Labyrinth. And in the Labyrinth, you'll probably see Tyrell Castle. Once you complete through all of these and you get so far, you'll unlock the Royal Capital Asmakalis. I believe once you beat the Royal Capital Asmakalis, and I think you have to be a certain rank or progression in the game to unlock it. Forgive me, it was years ago, I can't remember what. Eventually you'll see Asmakalis of Cycles. An Asmakalis of Cycle is what most people in this game refer to as Raid. When you go into it, there's two modes. There's regular Hell Raid in red, and then there is Nightmare Raid in purple. They both have the same shop. They both have the same bosses. They both have the same fights, but of course, Nightmare Raid is a lot harder with harder conditions, and it drops better gear. Drops a lot of 88 gear. The currency that you get from fighting in Nightmare Raid using the shop is practically double what the currency is in Hell Raid, so you'll get more currency to spend in the shop. I'll jump into the shop real quick and show you. It costs 1 bug charm to do Hell. It costs 2 bug charms to do Nightmare. And if you kill one of the big bads in Hell, it'll be dead in Nightmare and vice versa. So if you find that you're able to kill this one in Nightmare, but you can't kill this one in Nightmare, kill this one in Nightmare, and then just kill this one in normal Hell Raid, and you still get really good currency. But there's 5 big bads. You can only kill 1 per entry, so it'll take 5 entries. And all of them have this exact same shop. You get this currency. Man, I am really just 1 away from being able to buy one of these things. And this gear is insane. 42 equipment score. It's all max stats. This gear is crazy, crazy good. And you can buy this with your currency. You can also buy this stuff. Please don't buy this stuff. Please only buy the gear. I don't even know why this stuff is down here except to screw over new people. Only buy this stuff. And if you, and the currency at the end of the month, Nightmare Raid resets, but you keep your currency. So every month, these 5 bosses repopulate. So you have an entire month to kill these bads off, get your currency to spend in the shop. They drop really insane gear too. I mean, look at the gear this Julie Council can drop. A rage set, an 88 hit set helm, a HP main, lifesteal neck, effectiveness ring on hit set. You know, you can look at the gear they drop. It's always 88, and the substats can be anywhere from garbage to the best substats in the game. So it's worth farming these guys just to get their individual drops. Each one's guaranteed to drop an 88 piece of gear. And then you get currency. You get 1 currency for fighting each of the mobs and 2 currency for fighting the queen. And if you do it in Nightmare, you get 2 currency for each of the mobs, and you get 5 currency for fighting the queen. So if you're able to do all 5 in Nightmare Raid, you effectively get, I think it maths out to you get 2 or 3 extra pieces of gear per year. Plus access to slightly better gear drops when you kill the bosses. Do one on stream. I'm not sure I can. Let me see. I might be able to. Yeah, oh yeah, I can. I'm gonna buy the one from the guild shop. It's cheaper. Yeah, there it is. Yeah, do 1 Nightmare and 4 Hells. Yeah, Wild Arms, you can do that. Mix and match. Just remember, if you do it on one, you can't do it on the other. Oh, there's also some Dagger Sakar missions under the reputation bonus. You should check these out. Under Dagger Sakar for Labyrinth. Asmik House of Cycle, normal. They're talking about normal, not nightmare. They're talking about hell mode, not nightmare mode. So you can get 10 of these currencies by defeating the queen using 4 rangers. That's no easy task. This is some endgame shit, but right there, immediately you get 10 of these. But once you do this, here's the trick. You do this in normal, then you yield. You don't actually take the portal out of the dungeon. If you yield, she doesn't count as being killed, and you can go back into Nightmare and fight her on Nightmare for your currency. But the instant that she dies, when you're doing the fight, you get the reputation. So you do these fights, you get the reputation bonuses, you proc the Dagger Sakar, it'll immediately pop up on the screen upon killing, and then you just yield out of there. You don't leave the dungeon, and it's like the fight never happened. You'll still have your currency. You can go in and fight it in Nightmare if you really, really want to min-max a thing. That's kind of a little workaround. Let's see. You guys really want the riveting content. Okay, so I got 2 of these. We're going to switch it over to Nightmare. Who do you want to get dead? Who do you want to kill? Any takers? Queen, Carcanus, Vera, Juleaf Council. We'll kill the queen. Okay, we'll use my Regicide team to kill the queen. And start. I have a more free-to-play version of this team. And make sure your background's purple. If your background's red, then you're in the wrong one for Nightmare. Queen with ML Luna. Yeah, ML Luna does kind of trivialize this, but I just love the full auto nature of this team. I don't have to do anything for it, just press auto. I've got a ton of videos on how to do Nightmare Raid. If you just search TristenWulf Nightmare Raid or TristenWulf Nightmare, and you can type TristenWulf Nightmare Auto if you want to see the full auto teams. ML Luna's got a strip, a touchless strip, which is really nice for taking these buffs off of the queen. So she can be, but this team's safe. As long as my Biblis doesn't die here. Taking a lot of hits. Okay, we're good. It's stabilized now. Yeah, ironically, Queen, who you would think is the hardest fight, ironically is the easiest fight, in my opinion, of all of them. I mean, once you have the right combination of units, they're all pretty easy. But I think she's got the easiest mechanics for cheesing. Thanks for the comps. Completed all of Labyrinth. Only Carcanis and Julie gave plenty of trouble. Nice, Urgens. You get the right units and they'll be easier too. Oh, she's a replacement for AOL? She can be a very good replacement for AOL. Rowana can be a good replacement for Biblis. Champion Zerato can be a good replacement for Seaside Bologna. What's his name? Our racist elf's brother. Suthen. Suthen can be... No, not Suthen. Yun Ryung's friend. Hassel. Hassel can be a good replacement for Pillis. Tamarin. Nobody replaces Tamarin. What's the difference in rewards between Nightmare Raid and normal? Nightmare Raid gives you more currency when you kill the bosses. Like, the Queen here gives about 2 currency on Hell Raid, or Normal Raid, and gives 5 currency on Nightmare Raid. The other bosses give 1 currency on kill, on Normal Raid, and on Nightmare Raid they give 2 currency per kill. So you get more currency, right? 4, 5, 6, you get 7 more currency per month, so it's basically almost one extra piece of gear every 2 months. Almost. Works out to be about 5 extra pieces of gear per year. And also the bosses drop slightly better gear. Of course, Phoenix, no problem. What about Abyss, Tristen? Do you make guides for Abyss? You can just type in TristenWulf 100, TristenWulf 120, TristenWulf 105. Those guides are old, they're a little outdated, there's new modern units, so I do need to remake those guides, but the teams still work. So yeah, I got several guides, and if you don't have the units on those teams, join my Discord, shoot me a DM, and I can recommend videos made by Sue and other trusted people who've made good ways to clear those. There's my Discord. Biblis looks so happy when she drops a whole ass chandelier on your head, right? What's my Bologna's equipment? She's like a truck. My Bologna's pretty well built, but she's on counter set, counter immunity with full ass Sigurd scythe. Bologna holds a special place in my heart, so she got some of the better gear. Thanks, Tara. If you want to see my units too, if you join my Discord, almost all of my units are posted in the build guide section. Just go to the build units and you can literally search for the specific units by names and pull up my builds for almost all of my units. Now, look at the date of the post. If the date on the post is like 6-8 months ago, things might have changed by now, but it'll give you an idea of how I built them. Where am I from? I am from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, East Coast, USA. Well, you have people ask you the same question often enough, you take steps to help help people do it on their own, right? Oh my god, is this fight still going on? Nice, Slothapalooza. Bam. Oh no, who is texting me? Must have received a sign from RNGesus and must build Payra on my new account. Dupe has spoken. Payra is one of the most impactful PvE or PvP units out there right now. She's really good. Let me see. Let's run it super fast if you swap in at Lionheart Sirmia. But you'll need good gear not to die. I don't know if I will change stability for a little bit of speed. I mean, it's an auto team. I usually do this, and then I go and grab a sandwich or something, right? Same thing with my Jewleaf Council team, right? I could swap out one of the Soul Weavers and swap in another damage dealer unit and greatly speed it up. Or I could just do what I know is going to work 100% of the time. But I see what you're saying, and I can see how it would work for sure. Do you think it's weird to only keep pets with shooting stars on them? The shooting stars mean they are moonlight pets, and we always assumed Smilegate was going to do something special with them, let them level higher, do something different with them, but really, it's just a cosmetic. It's like getting a special skin for your units with your pet. They don't do anything special, but most people go for them because it's kind of bragging rights. You know, look, I got the special version. So, yeah, it's totally just cosmetic unless they change the pet system down the road, and they haven't by now. I doubt that they will. So if you were doing normal raid and you got the Dagger Sakara message, it would have popped up down here by now. Then all you got to do is go up here and just yield. And that way you don't spend the currency, you can go back in and do Nightmare. But we grab the chest, we get the sap-covered item. It won't show us what it is until we go over here. We take the portal out. And now we get to see what we got. Come on, Greater Fallen. The best gear in the game is called Greater Fallen, right? So if you see the words Greater Fallen, it's not Greater Fallen. Attack, crit damage. It's okay. It's not amazing. I hate that it's attack set. We'll still roll it. It's weird that it's attack set and there's no attack down here. Oh, man. I mean, attack, damage, support. So it's 3 support stats. God, do we even roll this? I mean, I guess we try just on the outside chance that it like pentarolls crit chance, right? But we ain't going deep on this. It's got to just hit crit chance. Come on. 7-10 split with double minimum rolls. 88 gear can roll 5 to 9. This is double minimum. Get behind me, Satan. Sag. Okay, so now we got enough currency, but I can't get in, right? You need 2 bug charms to get in, and I need 3 of these things. So I'm gonna have to, you know, I mean, I could buy a whole bunch, but I'm gonna go waste it. So next time when we stream again, I'll have enough to get a bug charm. We'll go into the shop and we'll buy that really nice 88 gear. And roll that tomorrow, but there you go. That's expeditions. This is what some of that gear can look like though, right? Pen. Crit damage. Here's what some of that gear can look like if it rolls really heckin' nice. I was originally so mad when this just kept pinging HP, but it wound up being absolutely perfect for my Spectre Tenebria. And this rolled really, really nice with all of it going into attack, and this makes my last piece Corinne evaporate things when she hits them. And you know, sometimes this gear can roll very disappointing too, but those are 2 of the best pieces I've gotten from Raid, and also there's a really nice resistance set piece. This piece made my Aria functional. It didn't roll so great. I mean, it rolled good, but since it concentrated just into HP, it like freaking quad rolled HP with 1 roll into speed. It worked out real nice for me, and it let me be able to build Aria, who is a hard unit to build for PvP. And I think this one went on, one of these went on Lulika. Yeah, this one made my Lulika work, right? The effectiveness I was so mad about the effectiveness, but it was exactly what Lulika needed. So as long as you get really good equipment score, don't be like mad, don't like roll stats off of a piece of gear before it's got a place. You might be surprised when you know where these things will slot in, right? Yeah, my guy, I'm telling you, this this guy right here. I custom built this guy. Where's your artifact go? Or Charon. You were wearing gardening artifact. So this guy right here, I can't tell you how mad I was about this piece when I rolled this. Can you imagine rolling this? How you would feel after rolling this piece and seeing everything go into effect resistance? And then it happens a second time on your other everything is DPS stats torrent piece. I was so mad about this. But then I went to go and build Twisted Idol on Charon, and those two pieces are why I'm able to make this build. So it worked out in the end. So even if it rolls something stupid like this, don't throw it away thinking it's useless. It's 98 equipment score. You'll eventually find a place for it. Stick it in your storage and save it for later. I remember when this rolled, I was thinking, well, maybe they'll come out with an effect resistance scaling DPS, right? My VODs are always available on Twitch, Mara, so if you want to go back and watch it on the VODs, go for it. I'm not entirely sure what specifically you're looking for a segment, but if there's content in the video or content in the stream you'd like to see made into a video, let me know. I usually try to skim through it and take chunks out of it that I think are worthy to make videos and put up. But if there's something specific you want to see, man, you can just go for the raid stuff. Just the raid stuff. You just can go to YouTube, and you can type TristenWulf. TristenWulf Nightmare. There you go. There's an entire playlist full of nightmare raids. There's this is the one that's full of step-by-step walkthroughs of single targets. This is one that shows off the auto team that I used today. Some older versions for free-to-play people who are looking for ways to kill Carcanis that don't have great gear. There's even some silly things like, yeah. This is terrible, right? First you have to wander around and get tons of souls to be able to pull this off. But you set this team up. Oh shit, I just hit the wrong button. Right, you set this team up with, and you're gonna love this. Come on, YouTube, get it together. With Muse Rima, Ice Collie, and Riza Hawkeye from the Full Metal Alchemist Collab, like 3 of the most useless units in the game, and Sigrid, right? It's such a loser's club of units. But she lets you reset skills, you stack all these debuffs, you get all these bleeds and bombs and burns in place. Use Carcanis to give everybody an attack, or a Kazran to give everybody an attack buff. Watch this hit. You guys are gonna love this. I wish this is something you could do without having to wander around for a half an hour getting the souls necessary to do it, but it was a fun little flex. 288,719 damage. So anyway, yeah. Don't try to do this. This was just for fun, right? To prove it could be done. But yeah, if you specifically want the auto team, just search TristenWulf Nightmare Auto. It'll be the first one to jump up. And although there's this 100% success, go for the updated for 2024. The teams are just better. I wish they would remove mono blue condition from Rima. Yeah. Banshee Team? Banshee Team. Let's see if we can build a low gear requirement Banshee Team with this new gear that we got, right? From the Golem, or from the Goblin. $61 powder to level the Goblin gear. It rolls terrible, right? It's got some of the lowest rolls in the game, but, I mean, ugh, friggin' 2 crit chance. Ugh. But it'll get you out of the gate. This is why you do it, right? You do it to, none of these stats matter to me. Where's the rest of it? Oh, I haven't finished doing all my goblins. Hang on, we gotta do Banshee, we gotta get the goblins first. Where do you save exceeding gear? Once you, if you decide like you want to keep this piece, you click on this little shop right up here, and it'll send it to your equipment storage. To look in your equipment storage from this screen that you get from clicking your backpack, right? Click your backpack, all the way to the right is your equipment storage. And this is where you can store equipment. You can buy additional slots if you need with Skystones, up to 700 slots. So you technically can have up to 1,400 pieces of loose gear on your account, plus whatever gear you have on units. That's where you can store your overflow. And let's see. Dash. Goblin. I try to forget about the storage system, just. I don't like it. I always forget things are in there. Yeah, for real, guys. Take it slow. It's a marathon, not a race. This is the most complex, in-depth, and involved mobile game I've ever played. It's MMO level of complex. Get into a good trainer guild. Get into a good Discord full of people that are, you know, good and supportive. You can join my Discord. The people there are really quick to answer questions and just a solid group of people. You can ask in the Epic 7 Discord official. People there can sometimes be a little toxic, a little bit, you know, shitty to you. Just if they are, just tell them to fuck off and come to my Discord. People are nice there. But pound for pound, this community is one of the kindest, most supportive communities out there. Not that it's always kind and supportive, but compared to other games, compared to, like, you know, League of Legends, for example, I think our community is freaking aces. How do you manage hero inventory efficiently in the beginning? I have the mandatory slots, but free pulls will eventually fill up. Yeah, you, for 3 stars, you imprint. You just feed 3 stars into each other. You keep 1 of every unit. Units you're not using, you put in the waiting room. Under your hero tab, there'll be a button for waiting room where you can store unused heroes. I think it's nice to have 1 of everything, because you never know who Smogate's going to buff next. Going good, Quelvy. Going good. League community is only toxic if you turn on all chat. Yeah, it's only toxic if you let people talk to you. Yeah, the anniversary's been crazy. I've never seen an anniversary like this. In this or any game. It's madness. By the way, where would I get a crit set piece with 40% attack? From the Wyvern, with a lot of luck. 40% on any single stat is crazy high. Lyta Katie's is situationally very good, and she's fantastic on arena defense slash. Do you think they're going to release Light Bologna one day? I hope so, but I don't think any ML units have 2 versions of their ML, right? Yet. Except for 4 stars. We do have like Light and Dark Acades, Light and Dark Rose is coming, Light and Dark Angelica, but they've not done that for 5 stars yet, but it's a 10-year plan. I think eventually all the units will have all the elements, eventually. Tristen, you asked who you gear next. I ask who I... Oh, who... You actually have that? That's crazy. Crit piece with attack? I mean, put it on any attack scaling DPS and just go blow people up. Well, Archdemon Mercedes is not technically Mercedes. It's why they called her the Archdemon's Shadow. They wanted to kind of differentiate it, and that's why you can't use any of the Mercedes to imprint Archdemon Mercedes. At least, according to Smilegate, it's not Mercedes. It's the shadow of the Archdemon that was... I don't know. They have some bullshit lore excuse that basically is there to keep you from using a 4-star to imprint an ML5. Is Blooming Lidica good? I used her... situationally, she can be very good, and at a very, very high end of gameplay, she can be used in a specific cleave that's really difficult to deal with. Combine her with Zeo, for example, and you can Blooming Lidica cleave people. But that's about it. Her uses are incredibly niche. And in that niche, she's great. But yeah, outside of cleaving in Arena and Lidica cleaving in RTA, I don't think you're going to see a ton of use for her. Yeah, you are probably about 6 to 8 months away from the Sirmia skin being purchasable. It just dropped, and usually whatever RTA skin comes out, the season before last skin becomes purchasable, right? So in Season 3, skin drops, Season 1 skin becomes purchasable. Season 10 skin drops, Season 8 skin becomes purchasable. That's typically how it works. I don't have 91 yet, but I've got 92 done. Which one's 91? Do I happen to have a newbie guide just for exploration on your channel? I don't believe so, no. Is the Goblin Gear worth farming? No, the Goblin Gear is worth farming if you're brand spanking new and you need gear to get you into hunts. Once you're into hunts, you never come back to this. Literally, the only reason that I'm farming this is to get gear to do videos on how to do this with Goblin Gear. It's the only reason I'm farming this at all. Craptastic, thank you for the sub, buddy. I appreciate it, man. Thank you so much. Oh my god, I missed it earlier. BDT Joe. Thank you for the super, man. Thank you so much. How do you beat Rift? I could explain it, or you could go to YouTube and type TristenWulf Rift. And here you will find a ton of Rift guides. Here is the easiest way that I found to beat it with Wukong. You see Wukong's in the picture, so you need Wukong. If you don't have Wukong, let's see. No Wukong. Here's how to beat it with no Wukong. Takes 3 entries for RC2 to RC7. Once you get to RC8, here's a no Wukong one that lets you do it in 2 entries, all the way up to RC14, 15. And once you get to RC15, here is a RC15 that lets you clear it with Wukong. And I believe I've got one in here somewhere that lets you clear it without Wukong. Anyway, Senya team doesn't work for you. If you can't, okay, we're hitting charms, so we got all the gear we can get. Okay, if you can't do the rift, don't sweat it. You don't have to do rift yet. Hunts are only, the rift is only a little bit better than hunts, only a little bit. It's not like you're hamstringing your account. You're talking about like getting, you know, farming an A tier thing instead of a B tier thing. You're still going to get all that you need from hunts, and that will eventually get you the gear to build up to being able to farm rift later. Drums, I'm about, but not for a long ass time. Okay, let's level this stuff and see if we can build a Banshee team. That's terrible. God, that's awful. I do farm Goblin for charms because I have low on them. I'm not entirely sure if Goblin is better for charms than farming, farming unrecorded history for charms, but I guess if you don't have unrecorded history unlocked, this is a nice way to get charms. You have to slow your Bologna so she always moves after the boss, that way her defense break doesn't fall off. Oh, sorry. That was for Socratic method, not me. I'll mind my own damn business. It's annoying that new players didn't have access to the rage gear. Yeah, but you can do everything without it, guys. Trust me. Can I show you Ilanov build? Sure. I don't have the damage one built yet. I'm still farming her friendship, so the only one I have built right now is my tanky support one, and this is what she looks like. I just made her a never dies monstrosity and used 3F to do damage. So she is almost completely support with this for a sub DPS. I'm gonna make a damage one. I haven't decided if I'm going to do destruction or if I'm going to do injury on my damage one. I was leaning towards injury, but then Alencia is coming out, who's just going to be a little better at injury, so I don't know. I'm still undecided on that. Yeah, it's 37k health. I know. I had pieces that had lots and lots of flat health on them, right? Look at the flat health on some of these pieces. And also some craziness like this. You think we'll ever get that world boss update? I hope so. But they've got a lot of other things on their plate. Not a lot of people care about world boss that much. Would there be a reason to have two different Rams? Like pink-haired Ram? She only serves one. I guess, theoretically, if you were using her in Banshee one-shot and using her in Expedition, those are potentially different builds. That's the only reason I can think of, but otherwise, no. And I think you could probably negotiate both of those builds into the same build. Is the damage still decent on her S1? Yeah, she does like 6 or 7k damage on her S1. I mean, she's there to support the team while the team does damage. She's not there as a primary DPS. She's there as a support sub-DPS role. Shit on a stick. I'm out of weapon powder again. Apologize, Tristen. Set is wrong. It's counter set with 40 attack. Oh, counter set with 40 attack? That's kind of screams. Let me see. 6 speed, 6 crit damage, 9 effect resistance. Land sounds like Landy would love that. Can I show ML in build? Yeah, yeah. There she is. That's who you're asking for, right? There's ML Senya. If you're going to put it on ML Landy, I would change the effect resistance to health or defense. You'll only lose 1 equipment score, I think. Go down from like 9 to 8. What was I doing? Oh yeah, I was leveling the rest of this garbage goblin stuff. Oh my god, I can't believe I'm leveling this stuff. What is the difference between new player plus 15 event gear and old player plus 15 gear? New players get some 85 items. The goblin stuff is level 80 gear with regards to the substats, but then the stats that it gains like level 50 gear, right? So you get a lot of really crap equipment score. Most 85 gear is going to be in the high 70s to low 90s on equipment score, and you can upgrade it to level 90 and go even further. This stuff you can't upgrade, and it rolls really low. This is get them on the street and start fighting gear. This is the I need to be able to clear this content. I want to catch up. It's not gear that you're... None of this gear with the dash symbol on it, none of this gear... You won't be using any of this gear 2 months from now. I almost guarantee it. It'll be on some of your PvE units that just aren't used. This gear is entirely designed to get them on the street, get into the fights, and start swinging. And Toriski, thank you so much for the sub, buddy, for the Prime sub. Out of weapon charms. Okay, I've got everything upgraded. I just need some more weapon charms, so let's go over to the shop. Oh, doing arena, by the way. Doing arena is another really good way to get charms, because you get these conquest points, and with these conquest points, you can buy charms. So if you're low on charms, go do some arena. Win or lose. Win or lose, you get some conquest points. Is it not even worth getting for speed? I think when you're just starting out, that gear is enough to get you into hunts. And once you're into hunts, then you'll start farming actual real gear and should never waste stamina on the goblin again. My 2 cents. The whole reason I'm doing it is to get the gear to show that this gear is enough to do hunts. Speaking of, there's a new video up. If you check my YouTube channel... Well, let me see. Make sure you like, subscribe, and follow this channel. It's what all the cool kids are doing. My latest video is how to use this garbage gear to be able to farm Wyvern 13 on full auto with almost no fail rate, like a 90% plus success rate, and you'll be able to run it in the background and get really heckin' good gear. Okay, now let's see. Can we do these builds with the garbage gear? Okay, so we need as much effect resistance on you as we can get. I'm going to change this to Nostalgic Music Box because you can get that from a side story for free. Great artifact to pick up. Nostalgic Music Box. If you guys haven't done this already, this is a hot tip for new players, right? Once you get to the point where you've kind of stabilized, you've got all your basic stuff done, and you're looking to take it to the next level, hop over to the side story list, go into the Book of Memories, and there's 2 of these that you want to do, okay? The first and probably most important is Rangar's Chaotic Full Moon Festival. In this event, there is an artifact called Midnight Bloom that when maxed out, and by doing this event, you'll get all of them. At max level, this will give 16% crit chance to everybody on your team. That's over 102 equipment score going to all of your units across the board. 25 equipment score per unit, including the unit it's on. This makes a lot of gearing possible. This makes a lot of people that are struggling to clear certain content, suddenly they're able to. I can't stress it enough, man. Pick up this artifact. You'll see it in so many guides, and it's going to make your life so much easier. You get one of these things for free, if I'm not mistaken. So use it on this. The second one that's worth getting is Fairy Tale for a Snowy Day. This is where you pick up the Midnight Bloom artifact, and also this is a really sweet story, especially if you read it around Christmas. The ending of it's great. I'm not crying, you're crying. This one, guys, by the way, this one, the reward's absolute trash, but this is the best story Epic 7 has ever written. Rather than spending 900 Skystones to activate it, just go to YouTube and search Eulogy for a Saint and watch it if you want some great lore. It's a great story. Yeah, pick up Nostalgic Music Box and pick up Midnight Bloom. Those, not in that order. Midnight Bloom first, then Nostalgic Music Box. Those are really important artifacts to getting your PvE life in order here.
Do you think Harsetti will be better than Milinar? Save the pity. I like them both equally as far as Waifu is concerned.
Man, I'd love to give you the answer to that, Noxian, but my crystal ball's in the shop. I can tell you that if you are a believer of patterns and you look for consistencies in the way things happen, she should be game-definingly broken, because all floor bosses have introduced a new mechanic, stopped an old mechanic, or both, and all of them, to a letter, have been meta-defining units. They've changed the game dramatically. Now, that doesn't mean Harsetti won't be the first to be absolute garbage. That they're just going to sell her on her looks and not her kit. But if you believe in patterns, she'll be insane and worth the pickup. Ilanov's a tested quantity. We know she's good. We know how good she is. If you can build a really good one and she slots into your style of play, I think she's definitely worth the pickup. But if you pick her up and don't get Harsetti, don't be mad at me. If you save for Harsetti and Harsetti's trash, don't be mad at me. You got to make your own decision on that. Unfortunately, we just don't really know. Okay, how bad can I make this girl? What? What the deuce? Where are all the pieces? Yeah, I think it borked. I'm going to exit and reset it. I shouldn't have to just scroll to the bottom. I should be able to sort. There they are. See, it's like they should be right at the top. Interesting. Okay. No effect. It's funny, there's effect res right here in this one, but I put effect res in here and it doesn't show it. It's like these substats, it doesn't see the substats in this gear. 8 versus 8, that's the same. Ooh, 24, we'll use that one. No res, no res. No res. No other pieces. 13 res. I'm looking for effect res. 18 effect res. 25 effect res. 13, 26. Okay, that's fine. Do we really get nothing? No necks from that goblin? Interesting. $13. Guess we take 13. And ooh, 20. 19. Kind of the same, but I'll take the health. Okay, so let's see. What else do I have that I can put on here? 118 is not a lot. Wish I could get an effect res main. Do I have any garbage gear? It's effect res main. Just use a random piece of 85 effect res gear. Unleveled, right? It's not even leveled, that'll count. Oh. Oh, wait, that's shit. Where's the piece that Momo had on? That was it. This. How's that, guys? That looked like a pretty good garbage can build to you guys? Unleveled neck, unleveled ring, +9, +0. I think it looks pretty good. As far as pretty bad looks. Looks absolutely horrible. Turn this imprint off. So 153 times 0.5. So that's 76 going to the back row. I've got to find a way to get 130 effect resistance, give or take, on Falcon or Flurry. So, Flurry. There's 8. We'll go with this piece. And this one, yuck. Yuck. I guess we use what we got. The defense and health are nice. We'll take that. Some effect resistance gets her to 21. Some more effect resistance. See, it's 18. Can't use that. That's not as good. That's not as good. We don't have anything really usable here. Here we're going to use an effect res ring, just like last time. So we'll pick, that's effectiveness, effect res. We'll use this one, right? Give her a little more health. Okay, it's getting closer. Another 19. No, no. No, no. 20. Man, I'd rather her be on speed boots. Oh well, we take what we can get. That's overkill. God, she's so slow. Can we get her on speed boots? Perfect. Absolutely perfect. How's that for trash gear? Does that work out? I think that'll be acceptable to new players. All level 78 gear, except for 185 piece, and then the rest are goblin gear. I think that's pretty fair. Get her on Nostalgic Music Box. Flurry, you can get... Flurry's a 3-star. You do specially change, you turn her into Falconer Flurry. And for this over here, this artifact can be anything, really. What's a good artifact for her? Something lots of people have. Sorry if I'm missing all your comments in chat. I'm kind of looking at stuff here. Just at me and scream at me if I'm missing what you're saying. It is better if the target has less than 30k health. If the target has more than, sorry, 40k health. If the target has more than 40k health, Daydream Joker is better. If the target has less than 40k health, Strawberry Cake is better. But be aware that some high HP bosses are immune to Daydream Joker. Like all of the Expedition bosses are immune to Daydream Joker. In Nightmare Raid, the Queen and Vera are immune to Daydream Joker, the other ones aren't. Shit, you know what? We're just gonna run her without one. Fair? We'll just run her without one. I'll show you how to find out if a boss is immune to it or not, right? You go into a fight. Hunt. Banshee. I'm just gonna put some DPSs on here to scream through phase 1 so I can show it to you, because otherwise it'll take forever. Ah! Thank God it didn't quick battle. I've got to sit down and re-gear my account. The storage thing is driving me nuts. I've taken the gear off of so many units. Guild accounts get loads of currency from the event, so you can choose one of those artifacts for them. You know what? We'll put Proof of Heckin' Valor on her then. Good call. Or we could put Bastion on her. Ah, we'll put Proof. I think people should get Proof before they get Bastion. Okay, we're good. We're good. Okay, so you can have... name. Just to be fair, we'll put the shitty Proof of Valor on her, okay? And where'd Vildred go? Yeah, Katie's gets half from Daydream Joker. Even at half value, I think it's still up there for doing damage to him. Can I show you your blue Lulika? I want to have a reference for Wyvern Test Run. I think my Lulika's ungeared right now, buddy. I don't use her very often, but I can try to help you find a decent one. Okay, so whenever there's a boss fight and the bar is across the top, you can click on the bar, and down here it'll say immune, and it'll talk about... It'll say down here, immune to damage based on target's max health. Right? Well, it'll say immunities. Damage based on target's max health. That means Daydream Joker doesn't work. Now, you don't see that here, so Daydream Joker does work here. So you can always click on this and learn a bit about the fight. Oh, and pro tip, whatever the effect resistance is, subtract 15 from that, and that's the effectiveness you need. So we need 65% effectiveness to get the best chance to debuff an 80% effect resistance unit. Anything above 65 doesn't help. Anything below 65 kind of hurts. So you can always check the ER up here, knock 15 off of it, and that's your goal for effectiveness. I know, Gimmick. Why'd you guys do that? Okay, let's see if this works. Absolute utter trash gear. Let's see what happens. Everybody say hi to Gimmick. God, I can't believe we're doing this again. So here's the thing, right? I know this looks awful. I know it looks really, really slow. And it is. But you run it on auto in the background while you're doing other stuff, while you're doing Labyrinth, while you're doing Abyss, while you're doing Nightmare Raid, while you're doing RTA, while you're doing Arena, while you're doing the side story events. While you're doing anything that's not another hunt, you can have this running in the background and getting the points for you. Yeah, if you're watching the VOD, skip ahead a bit. But I can at least catch up on some questions. Is there a way to make autoplay use souls for a character? Unfortunately, Michael, there is not. We would really like to have that added, but to the point now, or to this point, the only place that soul burn is automatic is on the Rhythm Surfer game. Last day for that, by the way. If you need help with that Rhythm Surfer game, join my Discord, send me a DM. I will shoot you a video that lets you cheese the Rhythm Surfer game, get max score in all of the stuff with like no real skill whatsoever. So if you're struggling on that, I got you. Yeah, that is Gimmick from the Orbis stream. He's over on the Twitch side for all of you on YouTube. Why is my... We gotta put Bastion on her. We gotta do Bastion. She's getting debuffed because she doesn't have 200 ER. Flurry does, but she doesn't, so she's gonna die too early. Okay, good to know. So we put Bastion on her. We might still be okay. Because even after Christie dies, the effect of her ER going to the back row, that stays behind. Nice gimmick. That's a brutal requirement. A lot of people are complaining about it. Just ignore those whiners, man. I'm glad that you guys are putting something to keep us engaged with and working on the game instead of just making it a pull my finger, push a button, and it's done, and then there's nothing left to do. I kind of like it. Yes, Kernai, it can work. I think it might be best in slot for doing that. Is the goblin gear worth it to farm? If you are brand spanking new and can't do hunts yet, it's worth farming because that gear gets you everything you need. Yikes! She almost died there. That gear gets you everything that you need to do hunts. And once you are able to start doing hunts, you'll have access to much better gear, and you can stop farming the goblin. Make sense? It's literally just there to get you into farming the stuff where you can get better gear. I think if you are less than a week in, it's pretty damn worth. I think once you're a month or two into the game, you're not ever going to use any of that gear. You'll stuff it on some PvE units or eventually sell it once you're about a month into the game. I don't know if Flurry can solo this without Christie, but we'll see. Would you spend a selector fully stacked for a PvE unit? I think there are very few things that are better to spend a fully spec selector on. I have 3 years on the game, and I hate building PvE units and Expo units, and I'm lacking in those. Like Red 10A, Ball, etc. Spending it on just an Expedition unit, like Red 10A or Ball, feels kind of bad, but yeah, you can go for it. I mean, if you've been playing long enough, I'm spending mine on literally any unit I have that doesn't have Max Mola yet. I'm going to buy that unit, and then I can use the one that's not Max Mola to imprint. Yeah, when you're that far into the game, it's kind of player's choice with what you spend it on. Oh man, remember when Banshee split twice? That was awful times. I got a dupe ML Kisei from the coins today. Oh, you bought a dupe with your coins, Pharaoh? Oh, I understand. You did your ML summons, you got Judge Kisei, and it gave you Galaxy coins. Yeah, that happens. I'm sorry it wasn't something new. It's happened to us more times than we can count. At least you get the coins, right? Those add up. Hi, Chad. Any drama? Just the same old, man. People are upset that people were upset about Flan, and now people are demanding that Smilegate revert the reversion of the reverted changes. Poor Smilegate. I swear to God, they just need to post a "Will you guys shut the F up and let us cook?" kind of a post, but they're trying to make everybody happy, and they can't seem to make anybody happy with poor Flan. What's Expedition for? Expedition is a really nice way to get modification stones, reforge mats, and there's also a battle pass for it that's loaded with really good stuff. So it's nice to farm. Once you have gotten your hunts down, you start getting gear, you're going to want to upgrade your gear, and that's a nice way to do it. Hello, Tristen. I'm from Vietnam. I follow your guides for Nightmare Raid. Thank you. Hey, I'm glad they helped out, buddy. I'm glad they helped out. Oh, God, solo flurry is terrible here. I'm very curious to see if Smilegate patched the bug, the quick battle bug on this. Is it worth to build teams to do expeditions in 2024? I think so. I think expeditions are high value. You at least want to build a team that can do some decent damage so you can contribute to the expos that your guild puts up or help polish things off. The more damage you can do, the more likely other people are to hit your expo. If you can do 75% of the damage by yourself and then post it open, people will clear it. People will see an expo that only has like 25% of the health bar left, and they will jump on it and clear it. They see an expo that's got a full bar, they're much more likely to ignore it, and then it just isn't going to clear. So I think it's always good to have an expo team that, even if it isn't a full clear, it gets most of the damage down so that other people will do it for you. Bama Boy says he's going to use his hero selector to get U-Fiend so he can print Holiday U-Fiend and Abyssal U-Fiend because you're a U-Fiend simp and that's the only reason you play the game. Based. I leave Expo at 1% and no one helps. Ironically, earlier in the month, people are a lot more aggressive about helping on Expos because everybody is trying to get theirs done. So you can put them up at the beginning of the month, they're much more likely to clear them. Towards the end of the month, most people have their battle pass completed, and a lot of people just stop doing expos, and it's harder to get people to clear it for you. That's why I made my teams be able to do them all by themselves, so I didn't have to rely on other people. Three is always better than 2 because whether you do 1, 2, or 3, they all cost the same stamina. The rewards are a little bit better. You get your Zealot Carmen Rose today and Caladra 4. Nice. Zealot Rose is amazing for Light Expedition. Now, Light Expedition's not up right now, but when it comes back, banging good unit for that. But you got a solid 2 months to build her, because Light Expo probably won't be back until November 1st. Hey, Arthur. Say hi to the rest of Brazil for me. Yeah, that's the nice thing. It takes forever, but this team doesn't fail. God, it's so much faster with Christie. We're going to put Bastion on Christie, and this will go a lot better, right? This was only super slow because Christie wasn't here to add her share of extra damage into it. Oh my god. Assassin Cartusia any good? He's really good at making your opponent pull their hair out. It's done! Anybody time that? Okay. So, here's the thing, right? This is slow, but I wanted to show that just Flurry alone can pull it off. Yeah, sorry, I didn't give you a real answer. Assassin Cartusia is okay on some arena defenses and for some really, really low-level early-on offenses, but he doesn't do a lot for you in the early game. Okay, so first we need to put... Now she only needed 46 more effect resistance, so we'll just have to recommend that people buy this artifact. This is 70 more, so plus 15, this should work just fine. And that'll keep her from dying. But we saw that it worked, right? It worked with just Flurry. You don't need any other units than just Flurry. And Christie, of course, but Christie can die. But we got these 2 other slots, so we may as well put 2 units there. Now, you want them to be green units, and you want them to do damage, so let's pick some free green units. Everybody gets Vivian, right? She's free from the hunt challenge. Where are you, girl? And who else do we put in? Show Flurry. If you can't build this Flurry, I don't know what to say to you, man. It's all the goblin gear, a couple 78 pieces, and just a random piece with effect resistance on it. What's important is you get her to functional 200% ER, right? So right now she's at 138. And Christie's passive is she gives half of her ER to the back row even after she dies. So she's at 138 plus another 75-ish, 76-ish. And that gets her over 200 ER. And that's what's important. And Christie is over 200 because she's 153 plus this. So that gets her over 200 ER. That's all you need. How about the Great Ort Telix? Right? She got any gear on? Yeah, just put on some random gear. Vivian, you got any gear on? That gear looks too good. Just put on some random gear. Doesn't matter. Just random gear. Yeah, Butterfly Mandolin and no Awakenings. Or it's going to be amazing here. Now, the whole reason you do this is to just speed it up a little bit. Right? It sucks to be waiting here all this time, so this is just going to speed things along a little bit because Vivian and Ort are going to help kill these front mobs, right? Flurry defense breaks. And then Vivian does this, kills the back one, and it kills all of them. And we're just past that phase so much faster. Now, eventually they're going to die. It's right after, probably right after the split, right? Because they don't have any effect resistance on them per se. So they're going to get bleeds on them and the Banshee's going to explode them and they'll die. But look how much faster we're chewing through the boss already, just with their damage. What's the best way to gain skin tickets outside of this anniversary or the old reliable credit card? The 900 Skystone Premium Epic Pass always has skin tickets in it, so you'll get some that way. I think you get 30 at the end of the pass that way. So 2 Epic Passes, you'll be able to buy a skin. Wow, Vivian just murder stomped them. So yeah, any 2, and this is fast. And even if Vivian and Ort die, and maybe we're not being fair here, right? Let's make a more reasonable, hey, I'm a new player Vivian, right? This is still pretty good. Maybe she doesn't need a weapon, and she certainly doesn't need boots. And she doesn't need a neck. Okay. We're leaving her armor on. We're not gonna run her fully naked. I mean, this is a 13+ game, guys, and we love Vivian, so we put a ring on her. And the Great Ort Telix. I don't see any rings on her fingers, so we'll take her ring away. This sword kind of looks like her sword, so we'll keep that. She's not wearing a hat, though, so she doesn't get to wear a hat. And I don't see a necklace, so she doesn't get to wear a necklace. Okay. Now it's reasonable, right? The armor is imaginary. You finally got enough ML5 dupes for 40 coins. Should I pick up Rowana or Lone Crescent Bologna? Do you cleave? Do you play RTA and cleave people? If the answer to that question is yes, you pick up Rowana. If the answer to that question is, what the hell is cleave and I don't play RTA, then you pick up Bologna. Both of them are good, right? Bologna's a smoking hot redhead, and Rowana calls you darling, so you can't go wrong with either. Have I tried Penelope? She hits really hard, like a 5-star. So does, the Banshee girl. Help me out here, what's her name? Pearl Horizon. Pearl Horizon hits like a truck in this. Oh no! Ort passed out. Yeah, if you've got a really fast opener, if you've got Zeo, if you've got Ran, if you've got somebody who can go first, you'll get a lot of mileage out of Rowana. But outside of RTA, she's not really used. Whereas Lone Crescent Bologna, she can be used in Labyrinth. She can be used in or Nightmare Raid. She can be used in a lot of Abyss floors. She's strong in Guild Wars. She's strong in Arena, and she's still pretty strong in RTA. I think in RTA, Rowan is just better, but Bologna is going to be a little more versatile. I think it just depends where you want to use her. Okay, so again, we're back down to it's just the Flurry show. But we got to this point so much faster because we took a real team. What's up, Red? Good to see you, brother. Yeah, we could put gear on these units too, right? Now, Gimmick, there was a problem with this team and quick battling, right? They, this team can't fail. Oh, why not bring Sid? I just went with a 3-star. Or it's a 3-star, right? And when else am I use Sid all the damn time. I got like 3 Sids. I use Sid all the time. I want to use Ort. Yeah, the problem is on quick battle, this times out, Gimmick. They need to extend the time, because if I try to run this on quick battle, it's just fail, 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 when it's 100% clear rate. But you can supplement that by putting a little extra damage on your team like we did with Vivian and Ort. That seems to take the edge off just enough that it gets through it faster. You tried Bernard? Bernard's an interesting thought. Some little extra healing, but, sustain's not really so much of an issue here. I'm not going to subject you to watching this all the way through again. Okay, give me a second to minimize here, because the only way to interrupt a quick battle is to close the app. So let's, hello, Flan. Let's see if they fix the quick battle or not. Okay, go. Oh, oops. Go. Go. This is going to be very slow and very laggy because this team is very slow. Yep, see, it's failing because it's taking too long. I can set it to quick battle once instead of 10x. Information that would have been good to know 5 seconds ago. Is Sinful Angelica still good? Sinful Angelica is really, really good in PvE and Guild Wars. Not really in RTA, though. Okay, so we need to actually put some gear on these units. So let's not make them fully naked. Let's give them a reasonable chance. Who'd you guys want to see instead of Ort? And don't say Sid. How about Pearl? You guys want to use Pearl Horizon? Nah, it's got to be a green unit, guys. We don't want to go multiple elements into this. We don't want to make it harder. Look at the bottom right button. Oh, here we go. Yeah, I didn't see that. Good call, guys. Thank you so much. Okay, so Pearl, let's put her on trash, right? Let's give her this and this and this and I don't know, this, one of these, and some of this. Yeah. Do we have a crit chance neck? Because that would be nice. Any crit chance that's garbage. This is fine. It's 5 goblin pieces and 85 and no set except for a health set. This is fine. And what's this do? That's actually kind of good. And Vivian. Let's give Vivian... It's borked again. This is kind of a thing gimmick. The gear sorting thing breaks occasionally. It doesn't show you the goblin gear. It doesn't sort properly. Pearl Horizon might be a bad choice because she's a specialty change. People might complain about it. But that's okay. I think this actually works with just Vivian. Okay, so how about one of these and one of these? And can have Mui's armor. Come back to that. Can have Furious's. You can have Furious's defense main. Because Vivian, of course, wants defense main ring, right? Right. And... Hey, thanks for the follow, guys. Is Pernilla good for Katie's? I have no idea. I've never even read her kit. I just pulled her recently. And you can have Sigrid's boots. Sure, sure. We need some crit on Vivian, but let's make it garbage crit. No, not 90 gear. It's gotta be some 85. How's this? Yeah, it looks pretty bad. God, 67. Where did the rolls go in this? This looks like +9 gear. How is this mathematically possible? I guess we rolled a 4 into a 4 here. And then went 2, 2, 2, 2? Wow. I bet I was so mad when I rolled this. This is the poster child for not knowing when to stop. No EE for you. Because sure. Okay, so one quick battle and go. You think it was Penta 2? Oh, you had a Penta 2. Yikes. Failed. Why is it failing? It shouldn't fail. Show me why it's failing. Is there any reason to farm the daily goblin storage thing from the event? If you are brand spanking new and don't have any gear to put on the brand new units that you got and you want to jump in and be able to do hunts, then yeah. You farm it, you get the gear, and then you go out and you do things. But if you've gotten to the point where you can farm hunts, I don't think there's any reason to do goblin. Some people are farming it for the charms, but it feels like a really expensive way to get charms. I think you would want to probably stick to unrecorded history and adventure for getting charms that way, but your call. Who to choose on selective summon? What's your starter team? I'm focusing on PvE. Start with Fire Ravi, Destina, or Asaria. Any one of those three. Fire Ravi will make the initial fights easier. Destina, it will be a really nice support unit if you've already got some decent DPS units. And Asaria is one of the stronger units for support because she can reset Tamarin and other units. She does tricks no one else does. I think if you got all three drop in your lap, I would probably get Ravi or Destina. Mostly because Asaria's banner is up right now and you can summon for her. Who's missing from my hero journal? Nobody. I've got all the units. Is Goblin gear better than level 75 gear? No, it is not. The base stats on it are like 80 gear, but it rolls like 55 gear. Okay, and that kills everybody but Flurry. That's why this is taking so long. It's just so damn slow. Or that's why it's failing, is it's just taking too long. I need to find a way to reasonably get this team kitted up to where it can... You were saying Bernard? I wonder if Bernard is the trick. I wonder if Bernard would let us do this. Where are you, Bernie? Hey, Feathers, I'm doing pretty good. Doing pretty good. And thanks everybody for the follows. Sorry I've not been keeping up with that, but, busy. Let's see, acquisitions. Yeah, the reason I would lean towards not getting Asaria from the selector is because her banner is up, and with her banner you can also get Song of Stars, which is also really, really good. What's an alternative artifact for Sinji other than Water Gun? Put her on Prophetic Candlestick. Keep her S3 reset. You'll be able to keep her immortal pretty much the whole time. Try this. Who's ringing me? Spam risk. I bet that's important. And what's a good artifact for Mr. Bernie? Oh, I know. Oh, this'll be great, right? We'll put this on Bernie. Vivian can have that crappy attack piece. Where did it go? This. And Christy, you can put her back on proof. Bad proof. Surely that does it, right? Good alternative sort of Azera is Proof of Valor. Still failing. It's still going too damn slow. What do I need to do to get this consistent? Shit, Red. That's brutal. What phone do you use, Tristen? You sure play on the go too, yeah. I've got an iPhone, company phone. I need to see how this is failing so we can figure out how to fix it. Because all this looks good. It's gotta be dying on the transition, right? Any recommendations for a team to clear Chapter 4, 1010? Go over to YouTube, type TristenWulf Zeo, and use this one right here that says killing Zeo with low end gear. Okay, we're just coming up on the split. Any reason you're not recommending one-shot teams for beginners? Gear requirements are quite low nowadays. Because not everybody starts out with access to goblin gears in these units, so I'm trying to give really basic ones. Then I'll go in and show. I'll do another set that are early game one-shot teams. If you can build a one-shot team, you of course build a one-shot team. Okay, we got the immunity up. That's dead. That's dead. She can't do crap because of immunity. We got barriers. Tier list based on how characters smell. Could recommend that to Sue. That sounds like a Sue tier list to me. Why not use Helga to speed it up for beginners? I can get her pretty easily, right? Yeah, I'm just trying different options. I want to see what is causing this team to fail, because it's looking pretty freaking bulletproof. Was it just a fluke that failed? Will I make a skin tier list? Probably not, Deco. A skin tier list, I think, would be a great way to lose followers and have people be really angry at me. It's aesthetics like that, man. Everybody's got their own opinion on that. You're never going to convince somebody that their waifu's not the best waifu. Yeah, you never make a waifu tier list. Not unless you just want the drama. If you're farming the drama, go for it. Have you tried doing Astromancer Elena boss fight? No, I was like number 5 for most of the week last week and felt like number 28 last week. This week, I looked at some of the conditions. Abyssal Euphine looks really strong for it, but I'll have to figure out a good Hall of Trials team. Would I please make an RGB tier list for Guild Wars? Like one that's specifically for Guild Wars? Guess I could. DM the idea to me in Discord. I'll poke around, see if there's interest in that. Yeah, this looks fine. This looks like it's clearing and winning. Let's see if it was just a fluke, right? Because it doesn't look like this can fail. If I start with Ravi, what's the team? Ravi, Tieria, and who's the other two? I have Celine too. Ravi, Tieria, and maybe a Knight and a Soul Weaver. Even Aether, Angelica, Montmorency, Acades. Somebody to help take the edge off healing. And then a Knight, Crozet, Arrowell, Pillis. Just somebody to tank up Ross. Ross would be actually really good. Ross and Mercedes are free. You can run those two. Free Spirit Tieria is going to carry you through most of it. Okay. Let's see if it was just a fluke on the quick battle. Do not buy the second grace. Once they make the second grace permanent, then maybe it's worth buying. But for the price they're asking for it, to have it only last 30 days, not even the whales are doing it. Why has this happened, Gimmick? Why does my 100% success team not work on quick battle? Explain this to me. This team can't fail, Gimmick, unless you hit quick battle. Then it fails. It's gotta be a speed thing, right? Because if I put a good solid DPS on here to make it run very, very quickly, then it works. It's gotta be that it's timing out. It's that quick battles say if the fight lasts more than 5 minutes, the team doesn't work anymore. It's not okay. It's not okay that quick battling has a timeout feature on it. Well, I gotta think of a better combo of freely accessible units with low-end gear that speed this up enough that it's able to work on quick battle to make a video out of this. Oh, look, it actually pulled it off. Tell you what, let's just do 10 runs of this. We'll run it in the background. We'll see how it pans out. If it has failures to it, then I'll know the issue is in the builds, and I'll have to look a little more carefully at it. This might be something where we have to go slightly higher gear than I put on there. Okay, what are we looking at here? So we just cleave the top team, and wow, the bottom team is scary. Nah. I want to Ludwig cleave the top. I guess it's smarter to do that. Wait, BBK cleave the top? Hmm. Yeah, this is what I was thinking. Okay. How about changing Christie with a DPS and put Flurry? If you don't have 200 effect resistance on Flurry, she'll get debuffed, and then the Banshee will detonate the poisons and you die. So Christie's there to send the effect resistance to Flurry so that she doesn't die to detonation. So that won't work, Kizzy. Oh, and Ran. It's my fast Ran. My fast Ran. No, it's not my fast Ran. Where's my fast Ran? Son of a bitch. That'll do. Ran never loses. Okay. How does he keep Rand from just one-shotting Ludwig? He's using Zeo. Zeo pushes back. Lunacy. Oh, God, he's using a fast Ludwig. This isn't going to work. This isn't going to work the way I'm built. Oh, wait. No, it will. I'll double Soulburn. I'm an idiot. This is fine. This is very fine. Is it possible to do Rift without Bologna and Wukong? Yes. Search TristenWulf Rift and find the video that says how to do RC2 and above without Wukong. There'll be plenty of options in there. Okay, that Zeo looks fine. Luna looks fine. Ludwig's got some RNG because he's got no crit chance, but that's okay. Run it. I missed a lot of what to do after Wyvern 13. After Wyvern 13, you do more Wyvern 13. Lather, rinse, repeat. That pushes Ida up. This defense breaks everybody. That activates you, which activates your artifact, which gives me souls. Now I can burn you. And hopefully stun everybody except Landy, who can't be stunned, but she dies because anti-crit's a lie. I guess it wasn't a lie. But now she dies because anti-crit's a lie. Son of a bitch. Just die already. Oh my god. I thought she survived. Banshee Team, I mean, yeah, after you've got Wyvern Grind set up, then, start working on Abyss, start working on Banshee, start working on Labyrinth, you know, all the other stuff while you're continuously farming. God damn it, I'm gonna lose this. Because I didn't stick a stun. Frickin' Chatty! I hate that artifact. Sheesh. Please stun. If this doesn't stun, I'm boned. Ha 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 ha. Strip. Get fucked. I hate this unit. That was way closer than it should have been. Oh my god. Okay, Ran, let's push you back. Soulburn will push Zeo up. Or, you know, just resist it and then get a dual attack. At least he did an RNL. That's usually where he dual attacks and then he RNLs and then he can S2, S3 and then he kills my whole team. That's fun. I love it when that happens. Okay, another burn. This will seal and push Ludwig up. Yikes. Don't kill Ludwig. That's fine. I don't think it matters. Everybody's sealed. I could just S3. Oh, look at the tanky Arby! Look at the frickin' evasion degen Arby. What a jerk. I'm glad I sober in the S1. I don't know what you guys are worried about. That was in the bag. Wait, what's that say? If Kev is streaming, attack the tower he's looking at. Before he can, don't worry, he'll have more than enough time. That shit's the best. Okay, how we doing up here? Okay, we've won once out of the 9 out of our one. We've won one of our runs, guys. You get more credit towards MVP, Noxian, if you attack, the Stronghold, and if you attack the main towers in each 3, right? So if you're 6 and 6, and I'm 6 and 6, but I attacked 2 forts, and Eternal Senpai's 6 and 6, but he attacked 2 forts and the Stronghold, Eternal will get the, MVP. Dropping towers has no effect. It's literally just who you attack. They give more credit towards attacking the fortress or the forts and the stronghold than they do towers towards MVP. And then, of course, defensive wins count to it as well. If you attack the forts, but I have like 25 defensive wins, I'll probably get MVP over you too. Don't ask me why, but that's the only thing that we can math out as to why it happens to some people and not to others, is we look at who they attack, and that's what we've kind of figured out. Yeah, if you can't build one of my Rift teams, guys, then you're just not ready for Rift, and that's okay. It's endgame PvE. Endgame. You might just be at the late game, which means you're close. You just need to do a little bit of farming. So farm Wyvern and get to the end game. Because there's only, I would say Rift is only about maybe 30 to 40% more efficient than Wyvern. You'll still get plenty of stuff from Wyvern or from Banshee or from whatever you're hunting. And then for farming, yes, Slash, it's kind of the end game gear farm. It's, look at it this way, right? If you can't farm Wyvern 13, do you just not farm Wyvern at all, or do you farm Wyvern 12? You farm Wyvern 12. It's still got really, really good rewards, and it'll give you the tools you need to farm Wyvern 13. If you can't farm Rift, which is effectively Hunt 14, if you can't farm Rift, you farm Wyvern 13 until you've got the gear to farm Rift, which is effectively Hunt 14. I don't know how else to put it. Guys, it's like day 3 of the Epic Pass, and I just got all of the rewards. Please, please do not do the purchase Epic Pass stuff. You only do this if it's like you just started the game and it's September 23rd. And you bought the pass, and then you realize you don't have time to finish it. You can spend some Sky Stones to finish it. Oh my god, we're still 1 out of 9. Yikes. But hey, it runs in the background, right? By the end of the day, I'll have it all cleared. Alright, I'm gonna have to work more on the Banshee team to come up with a, way to make that consistent and good. Uh-oh. There we go. Hey, Zupai. Thanks for the follow, buddy. Welcome to the Wolf Pack. Yeah, get this. Just let me buy the damn stamina and gold. Why do I have to buy this crap I don't want? It's gonna make me spend 150 freaking currency on this stuff that's not useful to me. How often should I be building units? I keep running out of resources. Once you get the resources to build a unit, you build a unit. That's how it works, Saiton. Welcome to the treadmill of Epic 7. Grind the gear, build the units. Grind the resources, build the units. Okay. I don't have Blue Lulica built currently. I think she's actually completely buck naked. Let's see. Ice. Oh, actually, she's built DP. Yeah, she's built DPS for doing Rift. This isn't a normal build for her, right? This was a high-end damage build to handle, not Rift, but to handle Hall of Trials last week. If you want to know how to build a Blue Lulica, or any unit for that matter, click on the little boxes in the corner, go to Journal, and click on the Hero Journal, and search for the unit you want to find, right? So, Lulica. And select her here. And, you know, a little bit of data, but look over at Hero Rating. And under Hero Rating, you'll see people's, you know, reviews, how good they think she is. None of that's really that important, except some of them are kind of funny. But click on any place where you've got a swords and shield here is somebody who's shared their build. So this is Cecilia's Lulica. Looks like he built her speed crit set. He put her on Ilia's Violin that you can get from Hall of Trials shop. And he went kind of glass cannon, middling speed, and went lots and lots of damage, right? Devaney, he went with a rage set. He went with a DPS Lulica. He's probably using her as a sub DPS for Wyvern or maybe Fire Expo built like this. Caladra and rage set. He's racking up an extra 60% damage on top of really insane damage, but he went slower and even more glass. Sugar Bomb. Sugar Bomb went speed set and hit set. He's building a utility Lulika. He wants to make sure that her effectiveness, that she's able to stick her debuffs. He built her really, really fast, sacrificed some damage for the speed and some middling bulk. This is like really freaking good gear to put on a Lulika. Wow. But anyway, lots of people post their builds, and you can kind of get an idea of what people are doing in-game. I'm not saying grab the first person on here and try to duplicate what they're doing, but you can get an idea of different builds, what people are doing with her. If they're running speed, if they're using her for just DPS, if they're trying them on counter set, or if they're trying them on lifesteal sets. So it's a really nice a tool to just kind of look at some other people's units. There's a destruction set version, right? So hopefully that helps you out. All of my builds are in my Discord. I'm not sure if I've got Lulika in there. Do I have Lulika in there? Build showcase, search for Lulika. Yeah, I don't have Lulika because I just don't typically have her built. But you can search this, you can pull up any of my units, and you can you know, take a look at how I have them built. Just go with the most recent version. But I'll say this to you and to everybody in chat. Don't look at a streamer who's been playing the game for 6 years and try to recreate what they've built with a 2-year-old account. That way lies madness. Just look at it for examples, right? You look at it and go, oh, he focused on speed over damage. I should do that. Or, oh, he went slower to get the damage higher. I should do that. Or, wow, he went a lot bulkier than I did. Maybe that's why I'm dying all the time. You know, use it for ideas of what stats to feed your gear and points into, and less about trying to replicate and emulate what the other people are doing. Most units work at various levels of gearing. There's only a handful of units that there's only a handful of units that just require certain gear to actually be functional. This is one of them. And if you don't hit the specific stat points, it's not a real unit. But 99% of the units in the game, you may not be competing in Legend RTA or getting into the World Cup with that build, but you'll still be able to use it at your current elo. So go ahead and just try to focus on the similar stats and just do the best you can, and don't feel like your account is garbage because somebody who has spent $100,000 and has been playing for 6 years has better gear than you do. Duh, that's going to happen. How much is average speed and bulk? Average speed and bulk? Depends on the unit. Across the board, I would say average speed is 200 to 220, and average bulk is probably around 50k EHP. If you multiply your health times your defense, you get EHP. But yeah, you spent 100k? No. I hope not. God, I hope not. Never count the receipts. Never count the receipts. God, I hope not. Have I? Nah, there ain't no way. Maybe 30. Maybe 30. I hope not 30. Stop making me think about this. Ugh. How do you feel about the Hero Journal Discord server? When my newer friend asks for builds, I don't know. Send them there. Yeah, that's another place you can go, right? There's a Discord server called Hero Journal, and it literally like shows you a culmination of all of the top players. Dude, somebody spends $300 a month times 12 months times 6 years. That's $21,000 if you spent $300 a month. Some people don't even consider $300 a month a whaling. Some people consider that high-end dolphin. Yeah, it adds up fast. Never look at the receipts. Alright, guys. Okay, we've succeeded 2 out of 9 times, but it's not failed yet. So I can go and watch TV, come back in an hour, all 9 will be done. I got it done, but I need to find a better. I don't feel good about saying this is a way to farm Banshee in the background while you do other things. I'm sure I can figure out a way to make this a little bit more stable. I just want to get it to the point where we can quick battle. And quick battle reliably, right? Because, why not Lucy cheese it? We're trying to do it with brand spanking new units on brand spanking new gear. And you have to unlock a whole ass 900 Skystone side story to get Lucy. We've had, what, like 3 fails and 1 success on this? I mean, that 1 success makes me think it's close. I just gotta get under the hood and tweak it a little bit to make it a little bit faster so it doesn't time out. As long as we can get it fast enough where it doesn't time out, should be good. Anyway, I'll work on that later. Wait, I was on Gollum? Well, that's awkward. No shit, it's gonna fail against Gollum. Yeah, see, it's still timing out. It can't fail. It's just timing out. So I gotta find a way to speed it up a little bit. Without making the gear too strong. Yeah, I'll figure it out. Oh, Adventurer's Path. That's what we were doing. I wanted to see if it was just a fluke that it won red, or if there's, you know, I wanted to see how consistent the success was. Complete. Flash banged again. Banshee equipment. Two. Three. 4. 5. Never tell me the math, Slash. Yeah, I tell you what, anybody who says, you know, if I say how much have you spent on this game, whatever number you're thinking in your head, you're probably only 25% of the way there, 25% of the way to reality. If you're just guessing, I bet you're only 25% of the way to reality. And that's why I say never look at the receipts. Acquire 30 greater runes and spirit altar? Say less. Ricalado, thank you for the follow, buddy. Oh yeah, we need these. Blazy, thank you, thank you. I can promise you that I've only spent $4 on the game. Okay, Bama. All right, guys, that's all I got. Anybody have any questions, last minute things they want to see before I roll out of here and get back to work? Mr. Streamer, how do I beat life? With a stick until it begs for mercy. Water, I swear. Yeah, you're right, All Might. My favorite band? God, that's tough, man. I really love the Chili Peppers. They just got such a great energy. It's probably my favorite concert. I like Nine Inch Nails so much that after a Nine Inch Nails concert, I went home and 9 months later my son was born. Can I show your Lionheart Sirmia? Let's see, Lionheart Sirmia. Damn, she's pretty. There she is, all 99.8%, 1 in 500 chance to not crit Sirmia. No matter what I do, I can't get that last 2.2%, so just live with it. She'll have a plus 30 artifact as soon as we get a selector ticket and I can get another golden rose. I hadn't heard Rajam, but that would be pretty cool. Alright, guys. Let's find some place to send you all to. Who's doing fun things right now? Ow. Okay, guys, I'm giving you two choices, and people in chat need to let me know. Do you guys want to go to somebody who is just starting out with a new account, who's really good at helping new players, great at answering questions for new to mid early game players? Or do you want to go to one of the masters of the game to see the high-end competitive stuff and see, like, insane gear score units that will, you know, make you feel inadequate and shrink your PP, but it's still cool to watch? We're talking about Deity versus Elf Mage. Who do you want to go see? Everybody wants to go see Deity since he is working on new stuff. Here's my Tamarin, guys. We'll send you over to Deity, and I will catch you guys next time. Tell Deity happy birthday. It's not his birthday, but let's pretend it is. Everybody say happy 35th birthday, Deity. Okay, that's the spam. Happy 35th birthday, Deity, and I will catch you guys next time. And see ya.